first time in the job. What are the other things that you've had to take into context throughout the season so far as that you've had to try and change?
Look, probably not a lot, because look, at the end of the day, my title as Vice President was operations anyway, so my role was taking care of all the money, the contracts and all the other bits and pieces. So all it's done to me is add an extra job on when you're doing these president's meetings and other bits and pieces. It hasn't really changed, to be honest.
And off-field, what sort of functions have you got coming up in the second half of the season?
Functions as in social?
As in social, as we head towards the final.
Look, we've got a trivia night in 3 weeks, the Sandhurst game. We've got music on tonight with the club, and just to get a few people upstairs and around, and that's about it at the moment. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's hard for clubs, whether it be major league or district league, as to how they can for businesses in this day and age to fork out. So
definitely is.
That must make it a little bit hard, a bit of a problem for clubs to survive. And as you say, you move into the Ballarat League. You've got the likes of Sunbury, where I read the other day that's your biggest gate for the year, even ahead of playing week in and week out.
Yeah, well, we couldn't charge for it because it was a practice match. I wish we could have, but look, that was the biggest crowd we had as a practice match. And look, I think the other 3 clubs around us, Darley, Melton and Bacchus Marsh, will be pretty similar in that sense. So look, at the end of the day, if you can get a good Friday game against somebody, you set yourself up for the whole season. That's what we're looking at, you know. And as we know, businesses are struggling today, so
yeah, that's right.
We've got a fair few sponsors and good sponsors, but you can't always rely on that. You've got to look at other ideas of bringing money in.
Yeah, you touched on before about how you, in terms of the senior side you've got today, probably a little bit less than what the side you put out last year. Your reserves as well, you played in the grand final last year in the reserves and the year before that, and they seem to be struggling this year a little bit on the bottom of the ladder. Your under-18s obviously were in the grand final as well last year, won it the year before that, but they're sitting at 7-4 on the season as well. So what do you put it down to in terms of it just losing players because of Bendigo footy, or how does that come about in terms of being so strong for so long that now you just seem to have lost that depth that Gisborne once had?
Look, you always get drop-off. Doesn't matter what it is, especially in the under-18s. Look, our under-18s made the granny last year. Yeah, they made it, but were they going to win it? No. They got there because they fought hard. The reserves we probably expected to win. The seniors was 50-50. And then this year you get a drop-off of players. You get a few players injured long-term. You get a few of the boys overseas at the moment. And that's what it's at. And then with the reserves, you lose half a dozen here or there, and that's a big drop. That's all it is. But look, that happens every year. You're not going to win the flag every year. You know what I mean? Look, at the moment now, we're still competitive with the side we got. At the moment now, we're still ticking along all right. So we'll see how we go towards the end of the year.
So you look at like Jacob Murphy, who won the reserves medal last year, is now playing in the senior football and pretty consistently in that senior side. So it's a good opportunity for him to come up and take that next step in his footy. You've also got some good young under-18s players that are playing senior footy, so it does kind of counteract that as well.
Yeah, look, the kids that are coming through are going to be really good for the next 10 years. So Robbie's philosophy is to play the kids, get games into them, and see how they go, because if you don't play them, they go.
Yeah.
So that's what we do here. We use our local kids. The only time we recruit is if we haven't got something there. Otherwise, we stick with our one-pointers.
So you didn't even, in the play we had on before, Dylan Johnson, you didn't even have to recruit him. He just kind of wandered in one day and said, I want to play mainstream footy. So is that the feel that you may get some extra people coming off and saying, I want to have a crack in a Ballarat league as opposed to Bendigo? Would that potentially, like that's a great example, do you feel that may open up avenues like that?
Look, it will open up avenues, because look, the biggest thing is player retention. So if we're got these clubs around us, you probably get a few more boys interested. Dylan walked in the doors for the simple reason he wanted to play better football and play with good coaches, get coached well, which we've got that. And that's one of your most important tools, having good coaches. So there's always kids going to play in the lower leagues, but if they want to play a higher standard, they'll come to you. It's as simple as that.
So that's a pretty good to have someone come in, because a lot of clubs do struggle with their recruiting, but you must have been absolutely rapt to have that happen. He is a terrific player. Unfortunately, he's not out there today, but he'd be nearly one of the best wingers in the competition.
Yeah, no, he is. And he's a good young kid too, so that's most important. Our policy is don't recruit idiots and don't buy premierships. We don't buy flags here. We win with what we got.
Now, how much of the footy do you actually get to sit down and watch? Because obviously the president's role is a very busy role. You're always busy on game day, on trainings and all that stuff. Do you actually get much time to sit down and actually have a good look at the game yourself?
Look, on game day it's pretty hard. You're running around making sure everything's running.
Especially a home game, absolutely.
Yeah, home games. Look, away games, you know, I try and get to as many as I can because I've still got a business that I run. So last Saturday I didn't get there, worked all day. I watch a bit here and there, and I usually speak to Robbie after every game. We go through a bit of stuff. He tells me what happened here, what happened there, and we go through it, and that's it. But other than that, look, as long as the kids have got somewhere to play sport, that's our main focus at the moment.
So my next question leading into that was going to be, how do you see the Gisborne getting the result done today from your point of view? What do they need to do to win today?
Well, first show up and give us effort. If you go out and give 100%, you're half a chance. If you go out there and think you're just going to win, you've got no chance.
Because it is such a big game today. You just feel like the winner of today's game almost guarantees them that second chance for the finals. The loser kind of teeters on the edge of that with South Bendigo, who are getting better each week as well. So,
no, today's game's huge to us. We've got to, and look, they're looking at revenge because we knocked them off on their ground.
Yeah.
So they're definitely going to come out firing. So look, as long as we perform, we should be all right. We'll put in a good show.
One thing Gisborne's always been renowned for, before I let you go, is this is the fortress that sides just don't come down here and beat Gisborne on their home deck. That's something that you guys have been really strong by.
Yeah.
So is that something that you guys really do believe, that we just shouldn't drop games at home?
Well, they do. They call it the graveyard.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, it is our fortress. Whenever we're here, we've got to protect it and try and win. So that's what it is. Look, the ground's actually holding up all right. So usually this time of the year it's really gone, but we haven't been training on it to try and preserve it. So
yeah, the ground is looking in quite good nick as well. So usually it's not a bit rainy and a bit cold down here. So are you able to do something as a president and just control this wind a little bit? Like, is that something you can do in the presidency's role?
I wish
it's causing havoc for us up here.
Look, as long as it goes towards our goal end, and then we'll change it to the other end.
So what you're saying is you got some fans down there. You'll just turn them over to send it towards the other end today.
That way we can keep kicking with the wind.
Tony, thank you very much for joining us here on Footy Fresh. Always fascinating to hear some insights. And firstly, all the best if you guys do pursue to go down that card. But for now, we look forward to seeing you playing out in the Bendigo footy, and hopefully you guys can have a run at it late into September.
No worries. Thanks very much. Thank you.
That was Tony Brancastiano, the president of the Gisborne Football Club. And Norm, always good to hear such an open and honest president that's straight down the line and what they're wanting to do.
It is, and it's great. He's given us great weather today, lovely sunny day, and it should be a great game of football between two very good sides that sit second and third on the ladder.
Yeah, and in the reserves contest, that's full time. You just heard the hoodoo in the background.
When it comes to reducing pain and rebuilding strength, Kaiser leaves nothing to chance. Our university-qualified health professionals don't just treat problem areas, they design personalised training programs using Swiss-engineered machines unique to Kaiser. These machines safely isolate the affected area, test your strength, and help rebuild your muscles for a stronger and healthier life. Kaiser, physiotherapy, rehabilitation, and strength training. Building strength with precision.
For the Bendigo Football Netball League, top 5 for round 10. Number 1, Jack Thompson from Eaglehawk here. A great goal. The hair pass comes his way. Instead of taking it, he just kicks it mid-air. How good is that? Number 2, Caden Antonowitz from South Bendigo. Another off-the-ground effort. This one in a bit of chaos. Gets it over the line. Great goal. Number 3, we're looking for a mark here. Joel Buderick from Eaglehawk, out on the wing, takes one snatch at it, then dives and takes the mark. Have a look at that in replay. How good is that? Number 4, Kobe Maxted from Sandhurst here. Ball coming in over his head. It bounces kindly for him. Then he gets it and goes goal. A brilliant goal. Number 5, Stephen Strabantz from South Bendigo. Caught the ball on the edge of the pack, goes bang, and it goes careering to goal, bowling everybody and making its way over the line.
capable of toppling Sandhurst come September on the QEO.
And in one word answers, Norm, South Bendigo, Castlemaine.
South Bendigo.
Kangaroo Flat, Sandhurst. I think we know the answer to that one.
Yes, Sandhurst easily.
And Golden Square at home against Strathfield Say.
A danger game for Strathfield Say. It's a game they must win. They lose this and they're equal with Castlemaine on points. And I think that in recent weeks, Golden Square's form's been very good. We saw them against Eaglehawk 3 weeks ago, and they were very good that day. And they actually outscored Eaglehawk for 2.5 quarters of that game. But Eaglehawk had a good first quarter and a good last 15 minutes of the game, and a 50-point loss looked bad for Golden Square. But for the rest of that game, they were able to outscore Eaglehawk. So I think that they can cause the upset today and knock Strath off, and then the pressure's going to be back on Strath with Castlemaine breathing down their throats with a win today would give Castlemaine that chance to still play finals.
Norm, thank you very much for your efforts in the pre-game. Looking forward to hearing you with your stats and insight across the senior game this afternoon. You'll be heading off, and John Hunter will be joining us very shortly for the big senior call. Seb, you're going to be looking at some of the better players for Gisborne today, obviously a few of your teammates, but who do you think really needs to stand up today for them to get over the line?
Well, you've got your obvious names like Brad Benaki, Braden Blake. Those boys obviously, they drive the show here, but I think it's important that Shane Clough has a big game today. He's quite an electrifying player, so he does have the X factor. And then also players like Matt Merritt is always underrated, and even Zach Vescovi, who will play a big role today, I think. So there's some of the boys, I think.
Looking forward to seeing what Zach Vescovi brings. He was certainly one of my better players across the final series last year. John Hunter, good afternoon to you. Just slide in, miss all the pre-games, slide in ready just to call the big game.
Just a man of the purple cam. I've just been down in the crowd and just mingling, seeing what the atmosphere is like. And I'll tell you what, it's pretty good down here because apart from the fact that the wind, and you can hear it through our effect mics, the actual conditions, as in it's bright sunshine, the ground, it's probably a little bit heavy underfoot, I think, Cam, but generally it's in pretty good nick. But really looking forward to today to see how Eaglehawk go with Jack O'Shannessy back into the side. Gisborne, we had a look at Gisborne 3 or 4 weeks ago out at Harry Trott Oval. They were very, very disappointing in that they had the ball inside forward 50 a lot of the time, Cam, at Harry Trott, and they just didn't seem to capitalise. And then we gave the Bloods big chances out at famous Canterbury Park last week against Eaglehawk, and Eaglehawk put them to the sword. So we come down here today not really sure, knowing which way that this game might go, and it's going to be one of those games. Sadly, well, not so much sadly, but who converts best in the wind is probably going to be the decider of this game.
Well, I think you look at the reserves game and that gives you the answer, is who does take the chances with the wind, because the wind's clearly going towards the city end here. You got the city end and then the far end, which is the northern end here. So we're sitting right in the pocket at the city end, and it just feels like the breeze is just hitting us in the face.
Yeah, and also they've got a big out, haven't they? You spoke to Dylan Johnson before I just came to air. Geez, he's been a really dominant player for them every time we've had a look at Gisborne. So interesting to see how they manage with the loss of him. So based on that, Cam, I'm going to preempt what you're going to ask me. I think we might, and this is why I said Bell Bartel with us just for a moment, just turn that effects mic down, but not that it makes that much difference. But I'm actually, if you can call it an upset, I'm going to call it an upset because Eaglehawk are flying, but to come down here at the graveyard and win, it's a very good effort. So I'm going to predict a very, very close contest, and I think that the Borough might get over the line.
Go on the Borough.
And what are you?
Well, I just think you just come down to Gisborne, the graveyard. I still think Gisborne. I just can't get over Gisborne. They've beaten them at Eaglehawk earlier this year. I think that they'll match up a little bit better. Eaglehawk's scoring power still does worry me without Clayton Holmes in that forward line, and Jonty Neves has been in some serious form in that back line, so him not playing today may just open up at an extra forward in Gisborne. Whether or not that's a McKenna or someone that gets on top, I'm not sure how that plays out, but I think those two outs are huge outs for Eaglehawk, and it may just swing the totem pole, I guess you could call it, back in the direction of Gisborne, in my opinion. And we've just had the toss of the coin as well, so Eaglehawk will be kicking towards us at the city end. Billy Evans winning the toss, so you'd think that was a pretty logical one. You win the toss and kick to this end of the city end, wouldn't you?
Yeah, you'd think so. And as we have said, Bell Bartell's come back on here, so we're just discussing who we thought might win, and I'll give Eaglehawk every chance here today. They've been impressive. Daniel, losing him, Daniel Johnson rather.
Yep.
That's probably one of the keys to this game, being able to replace him, you think?
Definitely. Yeah, he's a key player for us, 100%.
Who should we keep our eye out on that might take that role?
I'd love to say Kane Mins.
Yeah.
Let's back him in. He's one of my best mates. He's one of the most, obviously, his brother, Ethan, is a great past Gisborne player. Kane's one of the most reliable players in the league. He'll give it 100%, so I'd love to back him in today.
Tough conditions here. At they call it the graveyard.
Eaglehawk players have probably played in worse conditions down here across their career, though.
Yeah, they have. What ends have we got here, Zeb? To the, we'll call it the Castlemaine end, because that's where I'm from. Is that an actual end? Is it the creek end? Is it the northern end? Is it the Mount Massett end? What is it? You don't know.
It's the bad end, I'd say.
The bad end.
That's not the way you want to be kicking. You want to kick towards a grandstand usually.
Yeah.
But yeah, it depends on where the wind's going, I guess. I just had a pen fly in my face.
I think we're rolling with the city end down here and the northern end of the far end of the ground, as both teams are in their huddles out there for the game. So, Johnny, you predicted Eaglehawk to win, but do you give us a margin, and is it just going to be as simple as 1 point?
1 point. And I say that with
the draw.
some intrepidation that I just like what Eaglehawk are doing this year, and they get O'Shannessy back into the side, and I'm just going to be really interested to see how young Jed Danahy and Zach Danahy, the taller players, you've got Braden Blake as well, cope with this win, because it's very, very challenging. As I said, you can really hear it humming through our mics at the moment. Apologies if you're listening, because I've tried to turn it down, but it just ain't happening.
Oh, it is very strong wind out here at the moment at Gisborne's Gardner Reserves as both sets of players head to the ground. One of the key players I'm looking forward to watching for for Gisborne today is Reaper down in that back line, and looks like young Jed Dennehy may get an important defensive matchup as well. Before they get into position, Seb, he'd probably been more of a player that's been loose around, but he looks to be playing a little bit more lockdown role this year.
Jed Danahy?
Yes.
Yeah, he is. He's been crucial for us this year, actually. I think it's important because it frees Reaper up sometimes as well to spoil the ball, but he still does run off the halfback quite a lot, but I think he's had more of a lockdown role definitely this year.
So O'Shannessy back into the Eaglehawk team, comes straight down heading towards the top of the goal square as well. Ben Thompson down there for Eaglehawk too, so a little bit of push and shove between Vescovi and O'Shannessy. That's going to be a good matchup to watch. So the round 11 contest from Gisborne's Gardner Reserve. It's Eaglehawk and Gisborne. Here's John Hunter.
Let's get things underway. It'll be Frost in the ruck against Blake. Blake wins the tap. It's ground level. There will be a stoppage. Good strong tackling by Mullen in the middle. And in fact, he's given away a free kick for an overzealous tackle. It goes the way of Jacob Murphy.
So Murphy sends the ball forward towards centre half. No mark taken by Kuma for Eaglehawk. They'll clear the kick across half back. Finds its way into the hands of Eaglehawk's Thomas Bennett, who's really started to come into his own this year. Tommy Bennett handballs off to the runner. They'll send the high kick down in the O'Shannessy direction, but it just clears him, in the first one-on-one contest between those two is won by Zach Vescovi.
Vescovi, who'll go short, just goes to the required distance. Spots up James Gray. James Gray on left half back. He'll send it down the wing. He's got a player spotted up, and Gisborne, good build up here through Benaki. Benaki will now go on the right. He initially went to go left, but it was a good choice, and he passes it forward. It was a good hit to Luxmore. Luxmore will go deep into the forward pocket. Sliding mark has been taken. It might be Danahy. In fact, it's McKenna on his knees, and it's marked it straight on the boundary line. And good shot at goal here, Zeb, wouldn't it be?
It'd be a great shot at goal, and I'd back him in 100%, I think.
He's seen kick a few from that angle.
Yeah, 100%, but he's, likely to pass it off, obviously.
Right, and he does, and he goes top, well, not so much at the top of the square, but he's hit up Harry Luxmore.
We've got vision connected to that today, Seb, so they would have seen that he'd already passed that before you called that one.
Try to get away with it.
So, look, the angle hasn't been improved at all, but probably the distance has, and he throws a bit of grass in the air, Luxmore. He's kicking to the northern end. It will be a good goal if he could kick that. The ball travels, it goes to the line, or nearly a mark by Merritt on the goal line of the Dogs. Thompson might see it over the boundary line. He does, offering support. There was Jacob O'Brien, and we'll throw it in. Deep in attack now, it is the Dogs in attack. No score on the board. We've gone over a minute, live 25, local fresh footy.
So we're deep into the forward line here of what we call the northern end, left-hand point post, boundary throw in. Frost might have got first hands to it. Strong tackle from Braden Blake, and we'll have a repeat ball up. Far away in that far pocket down here. Frost will go up again. Call Blake with the first hands down to it. Luxmore was lurking, couldn't quite get it. Eaglehawk will get the handball to Frost. He'll then kick into the middle of the ground, which might bounce out the back. Now they've got the run. It'll be Evans that can track after it, but Vescovi will get back there. He'll paddle the ball towards his advantage. In a one-on-one contest with Nick Hoare, I should say. Eaglehawk will turn the ball to the top of the square. Vescovi's back there to recover. A little bit of a no-look handball. He's given it straight back to Hoare, who runs in and kicks the first goal of the day. So a little bit of an errant handball from Vescovi, and Nick Hoare kicks the first goal of the day for Eaglehawk. 2 minutes into the contest. They are 1 straight 6. Gisborne no score. Live 25 local fresh footy score sponsor Parsons Towings in Castlemaine.
Yeah, it was a bit of a shame, I guess. That happens sometimes, missed handball, but Zach's very, very resilient. That'll be the last time, I think.
Was that a blind look-away handball? Did he go to the voice? You think that might have been a bit of that happening?
I think he did a little bit there. I think he'll be ahead of himself, but I'm sure that'll be the last time.
So we'll come back into the middle. Came from nowhere, really, that goal for Eaglehawk, as the Dogs have been in attack for 90% of this quarter. So Benaki's in the middle as well, looking to get his hands on the footy. It'll be Big Frost against Blake. Frost front position. He tapped it straight to Blake. Blake probably held without the footy. Asked for a free kick. He won't get it. Frost tracks his own footy, and he's brought down by a pack of Dogs. And we'll have a ball up on left half forward for Eaglehawk. They're in attack. They lead 1 goal straight 6. Gisborne yet to score. 4 minutes gone. Opening term. Live 25. Local fresh footy.
Good hard contest early as expected. Gisborne will emerge with the footy out of the middle. They'll send it up towards centre half forward. Chasing after it there will be Clough. Ball at the ground. They're just mucking around a little bit. Sam Thompson in the bright green boots. He picks it up and bangs it in the Hoare direction. It carries over the back. Reaper will be first back there. O'Shannessy tapped the ball to ground level towards his advantage. But they'll come and they'll support him to get it over the boundary line to the Dogs.
Kane Minns is playing a very tight role here on Ben Thompson, I can see. We'll back him in.
Good contest there between Minns and Thompson right at the top of the goal square. Vescovi, O'Shannessy. And it looks like Isley's got Reaper. So they're the 3 kind of matchups down there at the moment. Ball thrown in. Free kick pulled out for a high tackle will go the way of Gisborne. It'll be picked up and they'll clear it out of there through James Gray. Gray goes with a short pass to a teammate. Taking the mark there will be Benaki. Underneath the scoreboard, 5 minutes gone, opening quarter. Benaki's kick had to be perfect, and it was. Mark taken by Clough. Of course, Clough missed out on the grand final last year due to a broken jaw suffered in the finals. So good to get them back. He goes with a short pass to a teammate again, and they're just playing nice possession footy here, the Dogs, and they've worked it up to your man, Zach Dennehy, I should say.
Zach Dennehy will go inside shallow forward 50, but good strong contested mark. Eaglehawk have been good in defence in these opening stages of this opening term. It's a kick that goes beyond the pack. It comes to the wing. In fact, it bounces to right half forward. Eaglehawk, good collect that comes off the boot, and tracking that footy was Blake McGregor. He didn't quite kick it nicely enough, and it will go over the boundary line, and we'll have a ball in.
So it'll be thrown in, 50 out from goal. Right on the paint of 50, young boundary umpire taking a few steps in. Takes his time throwing that one in. It'll be 1 down by Frost. Mullen was there, it spills out. They'll send it towards the top of the goal square, Eaglehawk. Trying to get there will be Evans. Double punch from Reaper, but it falls in the direction of Jack Thompson, who fires a shot on goal, but he was in a tough angle and it's through for a minus score. So they move to 1-1-7. Gisborne no score. 6.5 gone opening quarter.
Benaki's had some early touches here, which is always good to see.
So it looks like Benaki's going to be doing the kick-in duties today for Gisborne.
Yep. I think he's had 3 touches so far in the first 5 minutes.
And a really nice kick onto the teammate Mark there. It's in the hands of Florini. So Jacob Thorini will then send the ball down the scoreboard side wing, but Frost set himself up in front of it and takes an intercept mark. Something he's well known for is his intercept marking, big Braden Frost. Very congested footy ahead of him though. He'll have to wheel around on the right. He'll send it inside forward 50. O'Shannessy in a one-on-one. It spills to the back. It'll be a chance. Evans' handball off to Ben Thompson. He'll fire it goalwards. And it's a minor score. In fact, it was actually, might have been Mullen, I reckon, that kicked that one there. 1-2-8 Eaglehawk. No score. Gisborne, 7 minutes gone in the opening quarter. Burke will be doing the kick-in duties here. Ryan Burke, who's had a jumper change.
Very reliable player.
Plays in from defence, up the line he goes. Jed Dennehy was at the back there, couldn't get it. Spills to Paolo Kuma. He just snaps around on the right. Nice little kick that found its way into the hands of Mullen. So Mullen will get the lead from O'Shannessy, and he puts it on his chest, and that's a terrific grab from O'Shannessy, and even better kick from Joel Mullen to lace him up on the lead. And he just got that little bit of separation from Vescovi to take the mark there, Seb.
It was a very good kick. It's always hard to stop that, I guess, as a player. When it's directly in front of you, there's not much you can do sometimes.
So he'll be 35 metres out. I reckon those 50s might be a little bit shorter than a 50-metre arc here, as we discussed pre-game.
Definitely.
So we'll call it about 35. Not too much of an angle to deal with. Kicking with the breeze though, so distance definitely will not be a problem. Towards the city end, in he comes O'Shannessy. He starts it right, and it never looked likely. He's just completely put that across the right and out of bounds on the full. As the ball goes on the roof. And yep, just rolling back over. Thought it was going to get stuck in the gutter for a second then.
Classic Gisborne.
So it'll be Reaper to kick the ball back into defence here. He'll be disappointed with that effort on goal, O'Shannessy. So Reaper plays on out of defence. High ball down the line. Frost comes and forces the contest. Spills to ground level. Gisborne down there is Gray. He's happy to take the tackle and will force a stoppage. So lots of stoppages in this game early. Frost got over the top of Blake. Blake then was able to win the ball at ground level, fended off the tackle, got some space and kicked the ball down the line nicely. It found its way into the hands of Luxmore, who's been busy early. Luxmore kicks it into the man on the mark, O'Brien. I don't think he knew much about it because it absolutely falconed him. Eaglehawk turned the ball over. They'll send it down the line in towards Frost direction. Couldn't quite take the mark. Getting back there for Gisborne. They'll be able to support their way through the middle here. Handball was good. Clough's in there, taken by Tommy Bennett. Might have held on to him for a little bit too long, I reckon, there. So it'll be a free kick going the way of Shane Clough. And looks like 50 metres as well. Didn't catch what that 50 was for.
Yeah, I missed that as well.
So it was a free kick originally for a hold on Tom Bennett for Shane Clough, and he'll wheel himself right up to the edge of the square.
He could almost kick this, I reckon, with the wind.
Hard kicking into the wind though at the moment. 55 out. Terrific player Shane Clough. High ball in. That's a really nice kick, and a terrific lead is being honoured. And it's Pat McKenna that's taken the mark right down there in the right forward pocket. So he's had a shot from the left forward pocket. Now he's got one in the right forward pocket. Which pocket would you rather him kicking from? Because he passed off that one earlier. Is he going to pass this one off?
I think either pocket would suit him. Obviously it's hard into the wind. I think he's going to go for it there.
So he'll be from 45 metres out, 5 to 10 metres in from the boundary. Pat McKenna, one of the stars of the competition, he goes low and it goes across the face. And it's just snuck in for a minor score, so their first score is one behind. Eaglehawk 1-2-8, 10.5 gone in the opening quarter here at Gisborne's Gardner Reserve.
So it's a bit of a seesaw battle here, as in an arm wrestle, as Eaglehawk will bring the kick in from full back. It's gone beyond the centre circle. In fact, it's going to bounce at half forward. Eaglehawk will run onto his foot. It's a shot at goal to the top of the square. Bouncing ball. And it'll go over the boundary line. Billy Evans seen it over. Came from the boot of Nick Hoare. And that kick, that was one kick from full back, Seb.
Yeah, I know, it shows how strong the wind is. It bounced over the back, and I honestly thought he was going to kick the goal then, so very lucky.
He probably should have settled. I think he had a little bit more time.
He had a little more time. I think he kicked on his opposite foot too, so we'll know that for next time.
Throw in, right hand forward pocket in front of the grandstand here. Dennehy got shoved out of it by Frost, who just boots it towards goal. I'm on for it. And almost it's going to roll off the end. In fact, it nearly actually hit the camera operator right in front of us. So if you're watching at home, you would have almost got a possession coming through your telly. Would have hated to see if you were watching the footy in 3D from that camera angle, I reckon, there, Johnny.
Closest you've ever come to marking a footy, Cam. There's Reaper of the Dogs. Geez, it holds up in the breeze. He kicks it up. Oh, big fly. Would have been Jed Danahy for sure without even looking at his number, because he just loves it. As the ball comes inside, forward 50 now. It's O'Shannessy, a little 1-2. Mullen getting involved. Gives it to Thompson. Thompson didn't look when he kicked it to the teeth of goal. Reaper saves the day, and then it was a nervous kind of ball, and he kicked it straight down the throat of Luxmore, and in fact to Tom Werner. He's got a different jumper on. Number 6. So Werner with the footy kicks it beyond 50.
Sorry, John, I probably should have communicated. Is that jumper pre-change, pre-game there?
You're always trying to make me look bad, Cam, just to make yourself look good.
Yeah, you're on to me there. So we'll get a throw in. 8 playing 1, 12 and a half gone. Gisborne will be relatively happy though that they've only conceded 1 goal, I reckon, at the moment with these wind conditions, Sev.
Yeah, very much so. It's very breezy at the moment, so we'll see what happens for the rest of the quarter.
So even the boundary umpires are struggling. Someone's just thrown the ball back in and it's just gone absolutely nowhere near him, so he's had to run 15 metres to give it. Hence the delay. Shallow throw in, caught a dead heat in the ruck. Handball backwards from Eaglehawk, worked its way out to Mullen. Mullen goes backwards, finds a teammate. That'll be sent inside forward 50 for Eaglehawk. And no mark taken to Evans. It spills to the back. O'Shannessy tracks after it, couldn't quite get it. Goes over the boundary line, just carried over the pack in these strong windy conditions for a boundary throw-in.
Been a good servant for you, Reaper. I love watching him play, Zeb. You must love playing with him.
100%. I was about to say as well, it's good that we've got Jed Danahy kind of freeing him up a bit to get a lot of these spoils and that, so...
He's going to take Mark of the Year one day, young Jed Danahy.
I think he will as well.
Does he try to do that training? I bet you he does.
It's more so Zach, I think. He's trying to take a few hangers on me on training, I'll tell you that.
Well, Zach just went up in the ruck and did the ruck work, and he punched it to a dangerous position, but they got the numbers here. At the back door was Burke, received a handball, but the kick was intercepted, which lets Eaglehawk back in the race here. Ball's at 50. It's a 6-point margin. The two Blues are leading this contest down here at the graveyard. It'll be a long ball in on the left, and it carries with the breeze and got underneath, and it's gone out of bounds on the full by a long way, and Brad Benacki will get a kick, but geez, it's tough conditions.
Very much so. You don't really see this too often actually in Gisborne. It's usually either wet or just cold, but the wind, it's snowing. You don't really see the wind that often, yeah.
So Benacki will bring the ball back into play. He'll wheel down, and he kicks that out of bounds on the floor as well. So that looked like a nice kick that was just tracking towards the middle of the wind, and the breeze just kind of grabbed it and threw it over the boundary line. So real tough conditions for footy here this afternoon. They'll bring the ball back in, Eaglehawk, to Charlie Langford.
That was Benacki's 5th touch, I think, for the quarter, so he's off to a good start.
Having a lot of the footy is Langford. He'll wheel and send a high ball into the hot spot, wanting a fly, carries over the back. Punch came from defence there. Danahy's in there for Eaglehawk. Free kick's been taken. It might go the way of
Danahy.
Zach Danahy.
He's our man behind us.
Gets the handball to Vescovi. Vescovi will clear the ball out of defence, but it might be coming back. That's a strong mark taken by McKenna. He wins a one-on-one contest on centre wing.
Thought you'd be across that, Zeb. You know Worm, do you?
Oh, Worm. Yeah, I know him very well.
Yeah, he'll be India for coming down into Cam all the time.
He's a guru on the massage bed, I'll tell you that.
Is he?
Gives a good pre-game warm-up, I'll tell you that.
So it's a turnover now to be with Eaglehawk. Thompson marks it on half forward. So he'll look to go. In fact, it might be Holland. No, Thompson it was. To the top of the square, 50-metre ball. O'Shannessy ran onto it, didn't quite collect. Then he had the ball basically given to him. Spills in the direction of Werner. Werner did well. Offering support will be Ryan Burke. They're under pressure. Also getting involved with Johns. Goes across the body and puts it out of bounds on the full for the Dogs. So it's going to come back the other way and a free kick to Eaglehawk.
This is the most out of bounds I've seen for quite a while in a game, I think.
Well, I think the message is don't kick it high in the air.
Yeah, 100%. I think that is the message that we'll be giving at half time.
Feels like the breeze has almost gone across the ground now as opposed to straight down at us, as a lot of the possession is going on this far boundary. Kuma loads up the kick and it's going to go right to the top of the square. O'Shannessy's got to beat 2. Reaper gets back. Jack Thompson lurking, but just didn't quite get the bounce, and Reaper's happy to concede it over for a minor score. And it'll be brought back into play by Gisborne by young Ryan Burke. Eaglehawk 139, Gisborne 1 behind, 17 gone in the opening quarter. 5:25, local fresh footy.
Bird, he'll go short into the back pocket. They're wary now, Vescovi. He plays on quickly, he puts it high, and the wind gets in. It goes right towards the boundary line. Probably fortunate we didn't have another out of bounds on the full, but on through centre wing, it's a 8-point margin. Gisborne are doing well, I reckon, to hold their nerve and not give away too many scoring shots.
I think so. I think it's crucial that you're forcing the high ball at the moment, which looks like they're doing, and there's plenty of spoils going on. So,
and the boundary umpire on the far wing certainly earning his money here. Throw in. Ball works its way out the back of the pack, closer to centre. Who's in there for Eaglehawk is Nick Hall, who kicked the first goal of the day and the only goal so far to this contest, knocked down. Handball from Gisborne backwards. Dennehy going back, overran the footy a little bit. Ben Thompson got the handball out towards a teammate. They'll try and paddle it further forward. Chasing after it here will be Nick Thompson. Couldn't quite pick it up cleanly. Might have been a jumper hold there on Gisborne, and it'll be a free kick, which will go the way of Lachlan Evans. In the long sleeve this afternoon is Lachlan Evans. A bit of a, not really a long sleeve jumper. Looks like he's just got the training shirt underneath the normal jumper there.
Evans for the Dogs, defensive arc of 50. Goes down the wing, dangerously, and it might be a turnover. In fact, it's come off hands. Good defensive play by Zach Dennehy. In fact, he's given away a free kick. So Eaglehawk, they're getting a lot of looks of it in this part of the opening term. We're at 18 minutes, retreating and going to Langford. Charlie Langford now with a footy for Eaglehawk. He's best to hit the top of the score from there. It goes long, and Reaper read it best, slid into it and took a chest mark into the defensive zone for the Dogs. And already he's having an influence in these short passes to Brad Benaki, but liking his game already up there.
Yeah, Reaper's been very crucial, and Benaki as well. I think he's up to his 8th touch for the quarter, so he's off to a great start.
So Benaki goes dangerously across goal, and he just misses the short pass there to Reaper, but he's able to paddle it to his advantage, and I think in the end he was happy to see that one across the boundary line. Ben Thompson was in pursuit, and we'll get a boundary throw right in front of us here in our broadcast position. Around the grounds thanks to Kev Lowry at Elmore Rec Reserve. Huntley 5-6-36 are leading Elmore 2-1-13.
Throw it in attack here. Eaglehawk right in front of us. We're high up on the balcony in the club rooms here. The umpire will throw it in. It'll be Isley do the ruck where he grabbed out of the Eaglehawk. Very good tackling by Dennehy. Umpire let it go. Also getting involved was Evan for the Dogs. Thompson steps it over the line for Eaglehawk, and we'll have a ball in 15 metres around from the goal that Eaglehawk are attacking. It's an 8-point margin. The two Blues lead. We've gone 20 minutes opening term. Live 25 local fresh footy.
So Isley's going to do the ruck work inside forward 50 against Blake. And the umpire throws the ball in. Blake was able to win it down. Hall will track after it for Eaglehawk. Couldn't quite take possession of it. Spills out to Tom Bennu, who just found a little bit of space. Chips looking for Jack Thompson. He comes out and puts a nice bump on Reaper. All fair, both players going hard at the footy. And we'll just reset to back to where we were about 10 seconds ago. Out at Dower Park in Kangaroo Flat, they are 1-2-8. Sandhurst 4-6-30. And South Bendigo 1-1-7, leading Castlemaine 2 behinds.
Umpire will throw it in. Still stuck in the forward pocket here. It'll be Blake up against Isley. Blake of the Dogs grabbed it out of there. He didn't really look. He banged it on the boot. Thompson, that's Sam, dropped a chest mark he should have taken across half forward, and we'll have a whistle and a stoppage. Ball up. We're 60 from goal, and that's only a short little bunt kick from there, Zeb, with these conditions.
100%. I was just thinking actually that Jack Thompson's had a great start to the game.
For Eaglehawk, yeah, Thompson
Eaglehawk, yes.
He's been the winner of our Sponsors Award for 2 or 3 weeks, I reckon, Cameron. He's been really good this season. Bendigo City Framers, as the ball is in dispute, 40 metres out from goal. It will be a free kick given away by Isley of the two Blues. Free kick to James Gray of the Dogs, and interesting to see if he pops it up in the air.
Well, he doesn't do that. He sends it wide, goes looking for Luxmore, and it just had a little bit too much carry on it, and Luxmore just couldn't quite get the extended arms out to reach that one. So a boundary throw in, right in front of the Gisborne coaching staff watching on is Waters down there. Really barking some instructions down there.
Dill Johnson is the runner as well.
You just see Dill Johnson out there
keeping the fitness up.
You'd love to have his running power on a day like today down these
100%.
wings. Tracking after it there will be James Gray. He's taken in the tackle straight away. A little bit of push and shove in this game as well. You expect there's a little bit of feeling between these two sides. There have been two strong sides in Bendigo footy for the last few seasons now. Langford slipped over at the crucial moment after the kick went further forward. Kuma came in to provide the contest, kept alive by Merritt. Merritt's handball to its teammate was hard up against the boundary line. There should be a ball up. And we'll get it about 60 out from goal. Left-hand forward pocket, Gisborne in attack. They haven't had too many looks at goal in this quarter. They've only got one behind. Eaglehawk 1-3-9 as we approach quarter time.
It's definitely the difficult end to score from, so if they could pinch a goal here, the Dogs, before quarter time, it would be a bonus as Big Braden Blake, the Nicholson medalist, taps it over the boundary line. We'll have another ball in. He's up against Isley, Eaglehawk. Blake and Isley, inside forward 50. Dogs in attack, kicking to the northern end against the wind. They can hear through the effects mic, and it was a will of mine then, and I reckon Blake doesn't like it. He's given away a free kick. Nothing you can do about it now. We'll go to Isley. It'll be a free kick for Eaglehawk deep in the defensive zone. Isley, I almost said Gerald then. He's just bunted the ground. He's kicked it. He's stabbed at it. Clough runs onto the footy now for the Dogs. Puts them back into the hunt. Inside forward 50 they'll go. Ball is now in dispute. Ground level, it's not a clean bit of play. The conditions are a little bit trying at the moment. Hurried kick out of the pack by Isley into the middle of the ground.
That it is. Hall picks it up for Eaglehawk. Handball out wide. They can work it out towards Bennett, who's taken in the tackle straight away. Umpire says play on. Werner was the tackler. Eaglehawk have managed to progress the ball further forward, bouncing off one tackle, bouncing off a second, going goalwards for Eaglehawk, and slotting the goal was Joel Budrick. That was a little bit of class. Strong from Joel Budrick. You know him well, Seb. Score sponsor is Don is good. Live 25 local fresh footy. Eaglehawk 2-3-15. Gisborne 1 behind.
I have seen that a few times before. He was one of my best mates when I lived up in Darwin. He's always been a handy player from Nightcliff. He's won a few premierships up there, and
with Brady Philo, no doubt.
Hey?
With Brady Philo.
Yes, with Brady Philo. I was actually lucky enough to play with him at Nightcliff, but it was a massive surprise to see him playing in the Bendigo League, and it seems like he's been dominating every week.
Well, the question that everyone would be asking you, why didn't you get him to the Dogs?
If I knew, I would have, I think.
He can't be your best mate. He must have more better mates up in either.
Oh, he didn't tell me, did he? I don't know. I'll have to have a chat with him about that after the game.
As we go back into the middle, it'll be a big Frosty wins a double-handed tap forward of centre. A lot of players around the footy. Shovel out back into the direction of Frost, who takes possession. He gets it off to Billy Evans. He's got space. He's got time. He goes goalward and misses for a minor score. Good build-up for the two Blues. They lead by 15 points. We've gone 24 minutes. Live 25 local fresh footy.
So Burke will be doing the kick-in duties for the Dogs. A lot of time just trying to get the ball back to him, such as these conditions in the breeze. Tough days on the skills. Burke comes out on the left. It skew whiffs off the side of the boot towards Vescovi. Couldn't quite take the mark. Spills out though. They can emerge. Handball was good there from young Lachlan Evans, but it's turned over across the middle. Eaglehawk have now got possession. They'll send it inside forward 50 from Donut, and Donut's kick was superb to Ben Thompson, who marks it 10 in from the boundary line. Right hand forward pocket. But this would be a nice kick in these conditions. I reckon if you just aim for that left hand, for that right hand goal post and let the wind bring it back, I reckon here, Seb.
It's going to be hard to say, really. The wind's quite unpredictable at the moment, it seems.
He comes out, he does just that. He sticks it to the right, coming back. Goal umpire in the perfect condition. Looks up at the goal post and says, I reckon it just snuck in over the top and puts it through for a major, I should say. 3-4-22 Eaglehawk, 1 behind Gisborne. Ben Thompson with the goal, 25 gone in the opening quarter. Score sponsor, Aussie Disposals on Live 25, local fresh footy.
I think I'd like a review on that one, I think.
Are you not allowed to barrack it?
No, I'm joking. It was very good. It was lucky. That
goal umpire was in the
he was in a good spot there, yeah.
That should be a lesson, though, for the Dogs when they're kicking this direction, where to put the footy.
Yeah, 100%. It seems that it is definitely far right. It's floating to the left quite a lot, yeah.
By a long way. That didn't even look like it until it got about halfway on its trajectory, and then all of a sudden... all of a sudden in she goes. So good handy start here for Eaglehawk, but let's not write the Dogs off because they will be kicking to this strong, I'm going to call it a wind here down at the graveyard, but they'll win it out of the middle again here, Eaglehawk, but running onto the ball will be McKenna, who's playing down back, but a free kick is being paid to Gisborne, is it, for off the footy? It's going to go to Manders. Manders of the Dogs.
Just pay the mark in that situation.
Well, no one knew any different. He goes on the left. He goes to the scoreboard wing. Ball kick again. It's an intercept. So Eaglehawk, another chance to have a look at goal at the 27-minute mark. It will be a long ball in.
Already Holland.
He's had a bit of it, Cam. He goes on the left.
Ben Thompson is just deep as well. Yeah, Ben Thompson's gone right on.
Ball goes over the boundary line, we'll ball it in, and the boys getting to know each other, are they, Seb, over there?
It seems as though they are. It's like Kane Minns and Ben Thompson were certainly exchanging a few friendly words on the ground there away from the ball.
It's an early match-up. They've been on each other since the start of the game, so I think we'll see a bit more of that.
Thrown in. Blake got first hands to it in the ruck. It spills out. Benaki managed to find a way back and then handball out to McKenna, who just kicks the ball out of defence. Kuma came up, couldn't quite take the mark in a one-on-one with Merritt. Then he sends it towards the top of the goal square. It bounces through everyone. Vescovi will be first back there. I reckon he'll be happy to see it across the boundary line. And he will. Boundary umpire will throw it in. O'Shannessy was in pursuit. Geez, that wind just carried that ball, and I think certainly the safety there was to get that one over the boundary line for Vescovi, Johnny.
Yes. And, geez, it's an interesting state of this game. If I was coaching, I never will be, I'd be just saying, bang it long as soon as you get the footy if you got the win. O'Shannessy makes a space and goes goalward and bangs it through for the behind. He had a chance then to put it through, 21-point margin, and you need to be kicking these, Zeb, if you want to win the game, because you need to get that lead out in front, don't you?
We learned that in the last game when Gisborne couldn't capitalise on the goals when they had the wind. I think it's very important that you got to kick every goal again.
27 goals on the season for Jack O'Shannessy, unable to convert that one. Didn't play in the last game, but he still leads the Ron Best medal.
McKenna.
McKenna sitting down in the back line's the other player in contention for that at the moment. So right as we're mentioning that, you wouldn't expect to be calling Pat McKenna as the kick-in player at the moment, but that's what he's doing. He'll run it out of defence, runs his 15 metres and then sends it down the right-hand side wing. Langford comes over the top and just kills the ball over the boundary line with a punch, and it will go right underneath the scoreboard. 29 gone in the opening quarter, and it's a 22-point lead to Eaglehawk in what has been a pretty good contest in trying conditions so far, Johnny.
Yeah, it is, and at the QEO, Sanders still in control over Kangaroo Flat, 43 playing 8. 13 scoring shots to 3 in a long first quarter. Thanks to Richard Jones, we've got him up there at the QEO, keeping his eye on that game for us on Live 25, local fresh footy, as it will be the Dogs who in possession on the wing. Is that out of bounds on the full again?
That was.
We haven't been keeping those stats, but let me say it's been a lot.
It's been a lot, definitely.
Which will again give Eaglehawk another look at it, even though the ball's on the true centre wing position. A long way from home. Butterick, the kick just goes to space. To Mullen. Mullen collects with one hand. A little gift to Thompson. Thompson tries to make a path and he can't. And the big man, Braden Blake, you heard it by Zeb Bell Bartels on special comments. Very good tackle. He goes laterally wide and finds McKenna deep in his defensive zone, which you're right, Cam. Unusual to find him down here.
I think it's a little bit of a case of just getting you better ball players with the ball.
Somebody keep crying for it.
Down there.
Can somebody keep crying for it over the other side of the boundary line? Pat McKenna's put it over on the full as well.
I want to get the boundary umpire on the bench side's job because he's doing absolutely nothing today, and the other boundary umpire has been running absolute ragged up and down, throwing the ball in. So the boundary umpire on the left-hand side is got the best job in the house. Eaglehawk will chip the short pass, and it'll be marked here by Evans. 60 out from goal. Thought about wheeling and going quickly. Thompson is at the back, as you called. The kick just didn't quite carry to him. O'Shannessy comes diving, couldn't quite take it. Picked up for Eaglehawk, trying to charge through the middle there. Unable to do so was Nick Hoare. He's already got one goal this afternoon, which was the first goal of the game. Ball up, 15 out from goal, directly in front. Knocked away from Gisborne there. It was done by Braden Blake. Spills out. Mullen gets it, tries to send it to the top of the goal square. Good smothering there from Gisborne to send it over the boundary line. We'll get a boundary throw in.
Lucky Evans. He's very good at that. That's what his specialty is, pressure.
22-point margin here. Eaglehawk lead. They've had 8 shots at goal, probably more because some have gone out of bounds on the full. and Gisborne only one behind, but Gisborne have done well in trying conditions against the wind. Blake grabs it out of the air and slams it smack bang into the middle. Didn't look. Intercepted by Mullen. Mullen will send it back whence it came. Inside forward 50. Thompson, that was Nick, hit it hard. The ball spills. Tracking the footy will be Burke. He did well. Ball spills further afield and works its way up to the wing. Players diving in after. Umpires letting it go. Eventually a whistle. And it will be a ball up on centre wing. It is.
Quarter time score, Loddon Valley Footy League, Bridgewater 3-3-21 leading Morong 3-2-20.
Quarter time in North Central, Donald one behind trail, St Ard 2-7-19.
It's an interesting game, that one. As Norm mentioned, all Loddon Valley North Central games today, 1v2, 3v4, 5v6 and 7v8. So you don't see that happen very often. Hall gets the handball forward for Eaglehawk towards a teammate who couldn't quite take it. Gisborne player picking up the footy though and being taken in a strong tackle there by Ty Evans. Haven't called his name too many times yet this afternoon. Isley picks up the ball. His kick was partially smothered. Still working in there, Isley. It fell back to him and a good tackle there. It might have been Matt Merritt forcing the tackle, and in fact it was actually Gray. Blake got pushed out of it but was still good enough to bounce back and win the tap down. Gray then emerges with the footy, just running it forward like he was playing rugby, trying to surge forward. But he took the tackle nicely, goes to ground, and will have a ball up.
In the MCDFNL, the Giants doing well against Harcourt. It's a 1 point margin, 20 playing 19.
Clough emerges with the footy and sends it high into the middle of the ground. It'll land right on the cricket pitch. No mark taken. Hall won it at ground. In fact, a free kick's been pulled out of it. It's going to go here to Holland, I reckon it might be. He'll handball off to Langford. Langford will just come straight down the middle, send it in the O'Shannessy direction, got side onto Vescovi, spills out the back. Ben Thompson's there. He's going to have to go the miracle goal. He might have almost got it too if Pat McKenna wasn't riding on the goal. Hard to tell from this angle if it was going to float across or not, but Pat McKenna was right where he needed to be to knock that through for a minor score. 3-5-23 playing one behind. A long quarter, 34 minutes have just about ticked over. Borough leading by 22. Score sponsor Bendigo City Framers on Live 25 local fresh footy.
I tell you, I think you're right, Cam. I think they would have gone in if you didn't touch it.
Just looked like it was just going to fall back enough to float through, didn't it?
I agree.
If the Giants get up over Harcourt, Nolly Jenkins will walk home, I reckon. Gee whiz, wouldn't that be an upset? It's early days, 20 playing 19, but anyway, we'll keep our eye on that. No, not quite yet. As the umpire throws it up in the air, Isley's got front position. He went up against Merritt. Sock off the ground, and luckily Reaper was playing goalkeeper on the line and touched it. And boy, oh boy, Reaper's already a contender for our Bendigo City Framers Sponsor Award with his efforts this afternoon.
He saved a few goals today already, so I'm keen to see what the rest of the day will bring for him.
In these low conditions with the breeze, you've probably got to have someone sitting on the goal line at all times, I reckon. Exactly what we're going to have.
Definitely
a few chances like that. McKenna plays on, runs his 15 metres before sending it back to where the ball's been lived for most of this afternoon. Sam Thompson takes it over, and that young boundary umpire is going, not again. I'm going to have to throw it in. How many times has he thrown the ball in? You're doing stats over there, Norm Jenkins.
Well, he's probably not doing those ones, Cam.
We go up to 8-9 times.
I reckon we should get those stats going for the next quarter, because he's certainly earning his money worth. Throw in. Merritt knocked it forward. That bloke up to Eaglehawk, and the boundary umpire's going to have to do it again.
I was going to say that bloke in the grey jacket over there has had 20 marks and he's not even playing.
It's probably weird.
As the umpire will throw it in, he's on the far outer side wing. Up they'll go. Fire and sounds. Put to bed that first quarter, and Gisborne will say, let us have a go at that win in the second term. It's Gisborne, one behind. They trail Eaglehawk 3-6-24.
Yes, it's a 23-point lead to Eaglehawk at quarter time. It's been a fascinating contest, but you're right, that breeze, when Gisborne gets a look at it, we'll have more of an idea at half.
When it comes to reducing pain and rebuilding strength, Keyser leaves nothing to chance. Our university-qualified health professionals don't just treat problem areas. They design personalised training programs using Swiss-engineered machines unique to Keyser. These machines safely isolate the affected area, test your strength, and help rebuild your muscles for a stronger and healthier life. Keyser, physiotherapy, rehabilitation, and strength training. Building strength with precision.
For the Bendigo Football Netball League, top 5 for round 10. Number 1, Jack Thompson from Eaglehawk here. A great goal. The hair pass comes his way. Instead of taking it, he just kicks it mid-air. How good is that? Number 2, Caden Antonowitz from South Bendigo. Another off-the-ground effort. This one in a bit of chaos. Gets it over the line. Great goal. Number 3, we're looking for a mark here. Joel Buderick from Eaglehawk, out on the wing, takes one snatch at it, then dives and takes the mark. Have a look at that in replay. How good is that? Number 4, Kobe Maxted from Sandhurst here. Ball coming in over his head. It bounces kindly for him. Then he gets it and goes goal. A brilliant goal. Number 5, Stephen Strabantz from South Bendigo. Caught the ball on the edge of the pack, goes bang, and it goes careering to goal, bowling everybody and making his way over the line.
Live 25, local fresh footy from Gisborne's Gardner Reserve, and it is Gisborne 1 behind Eaglehawk 3-6-24. It is a howling breeze. Norm Jenkins, you've been taking some stats for us, and give us that inside forward 50 count, because that'll give us a really big indication on how much this breeze is playing a factor in this game.
Yes, well, in the first quarter it was Eaglehawk with 20 inside 50s for 9 scoring shots, 3 goals, 6, and it was Gisborne for 5 inside 50s, and they got a point. The goals for Eaglehawk came from 2 turnovers, 2 ill-directed handballs and 1 in general play, and there was 2 intercept marks by Eaglehawk in Gisborne's defence, and only one by Gisborne. Most of the time when the ball went into both forward lines, it was knocked to the ground.
Thank you very much, Norm Jenkins there on stats. The goal kickers in this game today for Eaglehawk so far. The first goal from Nick Hall, Ben Thompson and Joel Buderick. And Gisborne only the 1 minor behind, which come from Pat McKenna. Johnny, you've been looking at the better players for Eaglehawk so far. Give us a list of who those players are.
Well, the Thompson boys are always getting their hands on the footy, particularly Nick Thompson. I know he's not one of the brothers that we traditionally talk about, but I like the way he went about it.
No relation, Nick.
No relation. No no, he's not, but only by name. It's been spread around a little
Sam,
bit.
Ben and Jack are the brothers.
They are. It's been spread around a little bit, Cam. A lot of players are banging the ball inside 50 a lot, but Geordie Holland, I thought, was potentially the best player. He's getting a lot of it through the middle, and also Big Frost, of course, doing well in the ruckworth. But Braden Blake has been doing his part as well. But who have you got for the Dogs?
I was about to say Braden Blake has been having a great game. Obviously Jack Reaper has been instrumental so far, and he hasn't had a lot of the footy, but I think Kane Minns has been doing a great job on Ben Thompson down forward, so they're some of my favourite players so
Just
far.
about to get things underway in this second term. It's Gisborne, they trail one behind to Eaglehawk 3-6-24, but it is a strong wind here down at the graveyard, down at famous Gardner Reserve. He certainly was. 1934 Gardner was around. That's how I know me Gisborne history. Here we are, the second term. Let's get it underway. Live 25, local fresh footy. Here's Cam Power.
Straight out of the middle of the Dogs. Clough banks it inside forward 50. Matt Merritt's on the end of it, and he takes the mark. And it was Paolo Kuma after him, and this would be a fast start. 14 seconds into the quarter, and Matt Merritt's already lining up for goal.
I'll back him in here.
Yeah, well, he's passed it off. Pat McKenna. Why wouldn't you pass the short pass to Pat McKenna?
on.
Did the umpire maybe not call 15? I'm not too sure. McKenna plays on, snaps around the body and goals. Did he play on, or was he called to play on for not 15? I'm not too sure, but either way, the result is a major and a fast start to start the second quarter. It is 1-1-7 playing 26. Score sponsor on Live 25 Local Fresh Footy is Other Disposals.
I think that'll be a key point from both coaches from what we've seen is to potentially pass it off when it's too wide, so I'm sure that's not the last time we'll see it passed off for the day.
Should be 3-6-24, I should say. Correct myself there. Eaglehawk 3-6, Gisborne 1-1. 1 minute gone in the second quarter.
I'm a bit old school. I'd be saying if you're within 65, have a bang at it.
That's always how I've gone about my footy, so...
Well, particularly in those conditions. Blake jumped about a week too early over the top of Frost. Umpire let it go, and eventually we've got a free kick for a throw, which will go to Eaglehawk. Billy Evans receives a handball from Thompson. Shallow inside forward 50. Benaki mops up, sweeps it wide for the Dogs. Here they go again. It'll be a long kick. They've got the numbers here. Luxmore on the end of one. He'll go inboard, handballs it, goes to the top of the square. It's a long kick to McKenna. Came from Werner, did it? It might have been Clough, in fact.
It was Werner.
Oh, it was Werner.
I think Paddy wanted a little bit wider next time though, so we'll see where the kick goes.
24 playing, is that 9 now? It might be 128. Yes, 128 to 3-6-24. Live 25, local fresh footy.
Langford brings the ball in, he clears it, goes about 45 metres, but it just started to carry back at the last second. Picked up by Frost, banged towards that boundary, and it's over the line for a boundary throw in again. That young boundary umpire is forced to do a mountain of work. I reckon they might have just potentially said, hey, can we swap sides for the second quarter? What was that boundary umpire? No, they haven't done so. Throw in.
Is it the same boundary umpire on the other side? Surely not.
He's throwing on the far side. Just didn't quite carry. Frost got it, but he was taken straight away by Blake, and in the old days that would have been holding the ball straight away, but no longer is the case if a ruckman grabs possession out of the ruck.
What's your definition of the old days, Cam? 2012, is it?
Well, back when the ruckman used to grab the ball out of the ruck, that used to be it, I believe. So
We've got a fan club behind us. I'm not sure it's for you. No, Seb Belvar tells us.
it's for Seb. As Clough emerges with the ball forward for Eaglehawk, got on the end of a 1-2 handball which came from Darcy Young. Up towards centre half forward. Sam Thompson got it. He tried to charge his way through, lost possession. Umpire gives him the benefit of the doubt. Handball backwards to Hall. Hall gives it off to Donut, and Donut's away. Straight through the middle of the ground. The boy from Kahuna. High ball inside forward 50. Isley couldn't quite take the mark. Neither could O'Shanassy. It hits the ground level, and we'll have a ball up 55 out from goal.
Umpire, they'll throw it in. I'll throw it up, rather. We've had that many throw-ins, we're getting confused. As it's shallow inside forward 50 now to the northern end. It will be a whistle and a ball up, another stoppage. Any team that can get a goal to this northern end, it's a real bonus here with these tough conditions. Blake wins the tap for the Dogs, taps it boundary side, whistle, and it might, in fact, advantages paid to the Dogs. They'll work it now off the wing. It'll be a long kick to the top of the square, one-on-one, ground level. Merritt might got one for a hold. How's he going to pay that? I reckon they're both holding each other, weren't they? Doesn't matter, it's merit with the free kick.
Your forward's probably going to win out 9 times out of 10 in that situation. I think the one thing the umpires look at nowadays is as soon as they see that jumper stretch, it's a clear indication, I think, Johnny.
He's not a familiar forward, Max Merritt. You know Max Merritt, you're a DJ. And the meteors.
Max Merritt. Matt Merritt, yeah, he's very good down forward. He's got that X factor about him, so...
Let's see if it's slipping away from him. It doesn't. He slots it. So Eaglehawk, here they come, 2-2-14 to 3-6-24. Score sponsor. Parsons towing live 25, local fresh footy, and here they come, the Dogs. This is their chance, Ed.
I think this is their chance. I think they just need to get the run on a little bit, and they'll start capitalising soon.
So they've just come really strongly with this win.
Very strong match-up, Coomer and Merritt here.
Looks like
each other the whole day.
Isley's gone backwards to play a loose behind the ball here for Eaglehawk, so Isley playing loose in defence. Might hurt them when they go the other way though, but Benaki will merge with it in the middle, he'll send it in and straight down the throat of Isley.
As you
He's
said.
Pick that out perfectly. Isley will then pierce across towards Coomer. Coomer takes the mark, he's on defence, he handballs off to the short pass now, which will be Ty Evans. Evans emerges down the left-hand side wing, which is where they're all watching. O'Shaughnessy flew up for the footy, knocked it towards ground, couldn't quite take it, it was a good contest, and haven't seen a lot of footy down this side wing so far. Is that an old truck that's converted into like a little box over there, Seb, for the boys to watch in over there? Or
The dog box.
the dog box?
As an opposition player, you do not want to stand in front of there, I'll tell you that. You'll hear about it for sure.
So it's on the wing.
Looks like they just dumped an old truck trailer and just turned it into a little box over there.
They did. There's a bar, there's pretty much you pay for it for the round and you get free alcohol for the day, and yeah, it's a lot of fun in there.
It's a good way of selling a few sponsorship packages.
Definitely. I think that's part of the plan. It works very well.
Inside forward 50, Eaglehawk. It was with Mullen at 50, stepped over the boundary line, and we'll have a ball in. So searching for a goal in this second term. There hasn't been a goal scored this afternoon to the north end, hence the wind here down at Gardner Reserve. Here's a chance. Making a path was Bennett, handballed it to space into the pocket. Pack forms over the footy, a whistle. Again, and we've got another free kick, and it's going to go to Eaglehawk, I reckon, on this occasion. Here's their best chance. It might be Donut with the, no, it's Nick Thompson.
Yeah.
They've both got those lobster-coloured boots. Pretty very Zeb Bell Bartel style. You'd have a pair of those, Zeb.
I think mine were pink actually, so I think I took it the next step after that.
And now Nick Thompson now. 1-2 steps, it goes wide, it will be lucky to be a score. Reaper again puts a fist in and puts it over for a minor score. 10-point margin, Gisborne trail, 7 minutes gone. Second term, live 25, local fresh footy.
So 4 of their minor scores have come from rush behinds now, Eaglehawk.
Is this Benaki kicking in?
Right on the goal line. Benaki brings the kick in. Well called. The kick just bounced off its teammate there, which was Burke. Eaglehawk can first the turnover. Frost will send it inside forward 50, and a strong mark. O'Shaughnessy got 2 hands to it, wasn't paid. Ball spills to ground level, umpire circling, and while he might have fallen straight on top of the footy, he's been pinned holding the ball. A little bit stiff, but Vescovi will be rewarded across half back for Gisborne. I thought he might have almost marked that one. Vescovi will chip the short pass. Taken away by Reaper, runs his 10 metres and then chips the short pass further down the line again. Good possession footy this from the Dogs. The kick comes down the line in the Dennehy direction. This is Zach Dennehy right in front of Robbie Waters watching on.
This is Zach Dennehy with a footy. Cameron, how's it go inboard? He woke up to what I was saying to him as they go inside forward 50 here. Langford dropped a mark he should have taken, swooping on it. The footy there was Luxmore. He's still in the contest, around the body. The footy goes going for a minor score.
That win we spoke about, it's going very hard to the left.
11-point margin, Eaglehawk lead. We've gone 8.5 minutes second term. Geez, that was a good build-up too.
That was. I was pretty excited listening to you, I think.
So Donald will bring the ball back into play. The other player in the lobster-coloured boots you referred to before there, Johnny.
There's a few out there.
Takes his 5 metres and then chips a pass, which was an absolute pass. And I tell you what, if Florini was playing for Eaglehawk, he would have absolutely loved it because he took it uncontested, sent it back to the top of the square, trying to emerge with it a bit high. He shrugged off one tackle, shrugged off the second, and Brad Benaki said, "You're not getting rid of another one." And he got him holding the ball 40 out directly in front of goal. And a player of Brad Benaki's class will go back and line up. The idea was right, but he maybe just tried to go one too many times there, I reckon.
I think so. Benaki will, I'm backing him in to kick this.
There you go.
As you said, anywhere within 60, he'll go for it, I think. Yeah. And he'll probably kick it too.
Hope you haven't put the moz on him there. But
He wants to aim for us, Cam. He wants to aim for us.
directly in front, comes in on the left. He stays. Might have aimed for us, but he didn't get the assistance, and he wanted to bring it back across. And I think he's just looked straight up at you, Seb, and kind of shaked his fist to say, "What was that about?" Don't bring the ball back into play. Eaglehawk leading this game by 9 points.
Donut goes short for Eaglehawk and finds Langford. Barely went the required distance, probably 10.01 metres. Or is it 15 nowadays? Doesn't matter. Langford, beyond 50, sends it long. They set themselves. Hurry kick, ground level. Eaglehawk will move it forward, but an intercepting mark. It's with the Dogs on the outer side wing. Short pass, I'll retreat in order to go forward to Zach Danahy.
Jimmy Gray,
Yes, to Vescovi. Thanks for getting me out of jail there. Appreciate it there. Seb Balbartel's the injured Dogs player. As we go shallow inside forward 50, but floating in front of the pack there for Eaglehawk was Nick Hoare, and he's been pretty good, Cam, this afternoon, I reckon.
So Nick Hoare has it, kicked the first goal of the game today. First game back, I think, after a bit of a stint out with injury as well for him. Short pass down the line was good, found its way to Ben Thompson. Hoare runs past him as if to say, "Give me it," but Ben Thompson looked at him and decides, "I'm going to kick this one a little bit longer in the direction of O'Shannessy." Couldn't quite take the marks, burst to ground. Vescovi's handball missed its intended target, so too did Frost. That was able to force the ball up. Now 70 out from goal. Eaglehawk going with the wind. 2-4-16 to 3-7-25, going against the wind as the Eaglehawk call it the creek end or the northern end of the ground here at Gisborne. Good tackle. Trying to emerge with the footy there for Eaglehawk and was unable to do so. Jimmy Gray was Evans. So Gray receives the free kick. He gets up and quickly plays on, hugs the boundary line with his kick in the Merritt direction. Got away from Kuma. He took it right on the boundary line. Kuma questioning whether or not it might have gone over, but Merritt's claimed it. 70 out from goal.
Luxford wants it.
Luxmore puts the lead at the top of the square. It goes shallower. It'll be a chance for Blake to come in from the side. Almost by McKenna. Picked up by Isley, and Benaki got him in a strong tackle. So Isley and Benaki having a good battle inside forward 50.
We'll throw it up. We'll throw it up now.
Watch Benaki here.
He's working, and it came, the voice was there, and you're right.
Yeah.
Blake tapped it to his direction, but he just overcooked it a little bit, Benaki, and he was going too hard.
That's the play. I know the play. That's it unfolding.
As Coley United and Birchip Watcham, it's a 1 point margin to Coley United in North Central at quarter time, as Langford sees it over the line for Eaglehawk. So that was a set play there, Zeb.
A few of them, yeah. We've got a few hot players that we like attacking the footy in the forward line, and obviously Benaki's one of them. So
who called that? Was that Benaki calls the play, or was it Blake that calls it? I think you just look at it.
I don't know who's listening to this, so I don't know if I should comment on it. No, I don't know. It's a bit of both, I guess.
Ruck infringement paid here against Braden Blake, which will go to Braden Frost. I'll get you out of that one. So Frost receives the free kick.
You said mind your own business, I think.
I can't give too much insight for the other sides listening, I think.
So Frost has got it. Remember, this is being streamed as well today, so for all to see after this game as well.
Exactly.
Frost will then kick out in the direction of Kuma. Might have gone a little bit too much on the kick though. Good little battle between Kuma and Murphy. Ball carries over the top of them and goes out of bounds. Boundary throw in. Finally starting to see a little bit of possession on this closer side wing here.
I've enjoyed the matchup, Kuma and Merritt today. It's been very competitive.
Nick Hoare floats back to be the loose man in defence for Eaglehawk. Knocked down, they'll wedge their way through the middle. Holland's handball backwards to go forwards. They tap it into the middle through Evans. Now they can come backwards to Kuma. Kuma just gets it and just goes with a kick straight down the middle. Didn't look anywhere near it. Mark dropped for Gisborne, but they have time to recover. Short pass to Florini. Florini gave off the hands and they'll send it in the Blake direction. Isley happy to see it over the boundary line as well. Probably been the case for a lot of these one-on-one contests where both players have been content just to see it over that boundary line and force a reset today.
9-point margin, Eaglehawk lead there. They're doing well halfway through this second term to just maintain Gisborne, because this is a big advantage to kick to this end. Gisborne will be looking to bang on a few in the latter half of this quarter as Blake tries to pick it up off the ground. A bit of tunnel ball it was. Danahy, it was picked up there by Hoy, went round the body for Eaglehawk, and high it goes to Eaglehawk.
Merit, I think.
Merit on Billy Evans, Kuma rather. Kuma, you're simply enjoying this contest too, Seb.
There's a lot going on, isn't there? It's between these two, I think, most of the game.
It is. There's Kuma, a 50-metre ball against the wind. Dropped a mark he should have taken there was Danahy. They've got the numbers now again, the Dogs. Here they'll come. Good, strong, hard lead with Luxmore, a clunker. And he plays on quickly, gives it off by hand. The ball will come in. The target goes, it will be Blake. It goes to the back of the pack. Bounced to the wrong side for a minor score. Takes it to 17 playing 25, and opportunities missed there.
Ryan Burke, very close there. One of my best mates. I would have loved to kick that, but I'm sure next time he'll take the opportunity.
Langford will bring the kick in for Eaglehawk. He's got Donut short if he wants it in this pocket, decides against it and plays on, runs his 10 metres, sends it in the Frost direction, couldn't quite get to the front, and a strong mark taken from behind. They look to send it inside forward 50, that is Danahy. High ball inside forward 50, just couldn't make connection. McKenna ended up getting an uncontested look at it, might have surprised him a little bit. Spilt off hands, Isley clears the kick out of defence, went looking for Tom Bennett, who collected his Gisborne opponent a little bit too high.
Murphy's very good at getting the high tackle.
Murphy handballs off, they'll send a high ball to the top of the square. Braden Blake's going to have to beat 3, and he might receive a free kick because he was being held. So Blake gets the free, Isley puts his hands on his hips. But I think that one might have been there in a 3-on-1 contest, and Braden Blake can kick a big goal.
He's a big man, he's hard to stop.
You can't miss this one from here, sure. He's 10 metres out.
I'm not going to say anything.
10 metres out, directly in front. I won't write it down just yet because he is a ruckman, but he slots this one through. One of the better ruckmans going around. And it is now 3-7-25 playing 3-5-23. A 2-point margin in this game as we approach half-time score. Sponsor Aussie Disposals, Live 25 local fresh footy.
It's always handy having him down forward, especially when you're playing with him. You just put it on his head sometimes and he makes it work. Very versatile.
Good contest between him and the other Premier ruckman.
I wonder if these two might be teammates in next weekend, next Sunday. Blake and Frost.
I thought you were going to say when they play Castlemaine next year and Gisborne on.
Well, Braden lives in Gisborne now, so that'll be unlikely, I think.
He's probably got a little lady down here too.
He does, yeah. He's all sorted, I think.
So that's the end of him. I've been married 3 times. It doesn't mean the end. You can always settle up again, buy another house.
Take that Castlemaine hat off, Johnny, and probably take that Bombers one off. We were looking at the score before.
As it was pretty close. Don't you start on AFL sides, Cam, as the ball goes inside forward 50 now for Eaglehawk, who've done well against the wind this afternoon. It'll be a stoppage and a ball up.
I might be fighting a losing battle if I try and start something there, I reckon, Johnny. We won't talk about that.
I'm a Carlton man as well, so I can't say much.
You weren't there last night, though, I don't reckon.
I definitely wasn't. I'm not going to another game this year.
I wish I wasn't, I'll say that. So, all across half-back, Eaglehawk are trying to emerge out of it. They get it forward, but Gisborne have got the numbers to receive. They'll send it down the line, and the mark will be taken by Eaglehawk in the hands of, I think it might be Ty Evans here. Centre wing position, scoreboard side of the ground. He plays on, drills the kick towards the boundary line. A flight couldn't quite be taken there by Horn. It goes over the boundary line for a boundary throw-in.
North Central half-time, Donald 2-2, trail St Arnold 5-11. We'll bring you all the scores as they come to hand this afternoon if you're at a game.
Yeah, half-time Huntley 7-9-51 to Elmore 6-3-39.
So we've got a stoppage inside forward 50. In fact, it's a ball in. It'll be Blake who tries to grab it out of the air for the Dogs. Hurry kick comes out of the pack.
That's not a mark.
And it's Mark Evans. And you're right, I don't think the required distance, that's the way they went with Ty Evans.
Yeah, I think so.
It was a little dinky.
Oh, here we go. It's on now.
As I see what fired that one off, but there's a little bit of push and shove involved in this game. It's been threatening to boil over at stages here.
Yeah, it's been very
Umpire's
close.
just going to throw the ball up and let the players wheel it out. Eventually they all get up. Still going on a look behind the ball here. Eaglehawk will send it inside forward 50. Hall's handball couldn't quite find its way to its intended target there, which was Nick Thompson floating back as the little squaffle, I guess you could call it, is now, or fracas is the word I'm looking for, is now finished up. Fracas. All inside forward 50. I have to be very careful with the pronunciation of that one, I reckon. Cross half forward. And one of the umpires pulled a free kick out of there, and it's going to go the way of Gisborne.
We are live streaming to this afternoon. Harry,
That was Luke Miletus, I think.
getting out of jail. Current injured player Zeb Bell Bartels joining us in special comments this afternoon. Hope you're enjoying the broadcast. Cam Power, John Hunter and Zeb, along with Norm Jenkin doing some stats for us this afternoon.
It's good to be here.
As it'll be Reaper on the end of the ball now. They've horseshoed it out of half-back laterally to Dennehy. Zach Dennehy will go, finds Werner. Werner takes a mark in front of that sponsors box where they're enjoying it over the top. Handball to Dennehy. It's Zach to Luxmore. Are they over-possessing a little bit, the Dogs? They go inside forward 50, bounces to the back of the pack. Isley tracks it for the two Blues, runs through his defensive square, then he puts it into the path of Bolger. Bolger will go, it's a poor handball, turnover, and lets the Dogs in.
Gee, that was a real ordinary handball from Bolger. He'd love to have his time again, and just had to get that handball right, and they were away to the races there. And Joel Budrick, he was the man. I don't know if he was in two minds at once and he just miscued the handball, I'm not sure, but
There's been a few of those today.
yeah, well,
First early in the game. Yeah, exactly.
It just kind of feels like some of the players are wanting to naturally get the handball, but in these conditions they're thinking, are we better off kicking it and maybe second guessing themselves?
Yeah, I agree. I think everyone's in two minds at the moment.
Do you get a bit of itchy feet sitting up here and watching the game? Because it's intense watching it here as special comments and commentating.
Most definitely. I think a few of the goals we've missed, I probably would have put them through. So
Trying to track after it here will be Gisborne. It's James Gray. Free kick's been pulled out for Eaglehawk though. So it'll be in the hands of Mullen. He's got the curly hair going on, Joel Mullen, a bit different to the old haircut that we used to see him run. So Joel Mullen plays on, uses the breeze to his advantage, just didn't quite carry over the back. Taken away by Vescovi. So Vescovi's able to wheel on the right foot. Nice kick down towards Merritt. And he got hands to it, which maybe stopped it from floating out of bounds on the full. Couldn't quite pluck the mark either. 2-point lead to Eaglehawk. 21 minutes gone in the second quarter. Score sponsor is Parsons Towings and Castlemaine on live 25 local fresh food.
Still time. Gisborne would have aimed to at least equalise at half-time, but such is the wind here at Gardner Reserve. They've still got probably 5 or 6 minutes to take the lead. I think make the most of it.
there's two. Everyone, we're both playing a loose player as well. Eiley's been loose the whole quarter, I think, Isley.
It's been good this afternoon as Eaglehawk will win it through Hoare. Hoare puts it up the chimney and then the wind just grabbed it out of that chimney and plucked it over the boundary line and goes over the fence and out of bounds on the full.
I'm wondering if there's a bit of a breeze at Harry Trott as well, because Castlemaine are coming back a bit in that game. 6-4-40 to South Bendigo 7-5-47. It was 27 to 3 behinds at quarter time.
So Gisborne will look to come again.
And Strathfield Sayer 3 points ahead of Golden Square, 3-5-23 to Golden Square, 2 goals, 8-20.
Vescovi's got it off half-back now for the Dogs. This is a set play as well. They've horseshoed it out for sure.
Dennehy.
As Mims goes inside forward 50, Dennehy as well getting involved, overrunning the footy was the big ruckman in Frost. They're screaming for it. It won't come. Merritt involved as well. Handball over the top was okay by Young, but it caused a little bit of a turnover to Billy Evans for Eaglehawk, and they're calling for out of bounds on the floor.
No, bounced in play, but you know where I'm going with this one, Johnny. I bring it up every week.
Can I pay it?
No, they don't pay that in Bendigo.
They do.
And
Well, they can.
I don't understand why they don't.
No, well, you should understand because the instruction is not to pay it as obvious as they are.
Why?
It's an instruction by the league. So you should understand why. Because
Well, I
they're told not
understand
to.
it, but I don't agree with it.
No, well, I've had games where they've had opposition kick it straight back through the points and they don't call it or anything. That's interesting.
They've definitely paid it, but there's a definite instruction because we talked to Dean Goodridge, the umpire's boss, at one stage, and he said they've been instructed not to be as severe as in the
Anyone that listens to our broadcast regularly would know that it is one of my pet peeves in Bendigo footy that we don't see that rule paid very often, because there's certainly been cases, and that was one of them. And I'm kind of for that rule because I reckon it just keeps the ball flowing a little bit more as well.
I reckon we've seen worse than that.
You're absolutely 100%. So, anyway, across half back we are. Umpire will throw the ball up, 50 out from goal. Frost tried to get a run at it, but he couldn't get there because Dennehy jumped nicely. That was a definite throw out of there that come from Butterick. Umpire said play on. They clear the kick up the line, but straight to Reaper. So Reaper has it. Defensive side of his centre wing. Short pass had to be okay. It made Vescovi work a little bit for it, and for a split second I think Blake McGregor thought he was in. But Vescovi managed to grab it. He'll go back to where it came from. They'll send it across the line, so they switch it out. The old reverse horseshoe, as you like to call it, Johnny. Gisborne player slipped over at the last moment there, which allowed the contest to come through. Good bump there on young Deacon Marsh. Gisborne turn it over through the middle. Now they can get it through Farini. Farini handballs off, and they'll send it inside forward. 50 there from Lachlan Evans. Finds its way to a teammate. He's got Blake short if he wants him, and he will get it to him. Terrific pass. You called that one straight away. And they'll be rather disappointed, Eaglehawk, to let a player of Braden Blake's calibre find himself with so much space inside forward 50 when they've got the extra man playing behind the ball step.
I think he's going to go for it here. I was trying to see if he'd pass it off, but with the wind behind him, I wouldn't say why not. So let's see how he goes.
So Blake will line up. He'll kick from, I'll say 40 metres on the left. And he skipped out of bounds on the full. He kicked that one straight, and he didn't get any wind assistance whatsoever. So it'll be a free kick going to Eaglehawk. Half-time score in the Loddon Valley. Potential upset going on there. Bridgewater 7-4-46 leading Morong 6-4-40.
Jack O'Shaughnessy called for the drinks bottle from the runner then. I just was watching, and the runner threw it and nearly knocked him out, nearly hit him in the head. He wasn't happy at all. There's a short pass came from Ty Evans. Hits up Butterick. Butterick, top of his defensive square. Plays on now, will send it scoreboard side. It holds up and swings in the breeze. Benaki gets his finger on it and deviates the ball towards the boundary line for the Dogs. Causes a throw-in. And 70 around from, in fact, it's a free kick. I didn't see what the free kick was. Zeb, did you see for that, or was it? It couldn't have been out.
I missed that. I'm not sure. It wouldn't have been down, so.
Quick kick into Merritt. Merritt takes a juggling mark. Umpire will pay it. And stands at 40 metres, so distance won't be a problem.
Half-time score in Bendigo as well. Kangaroo Flat 3-4-22, Sandhurst 13-11-89. Fergus Green with 3 goals in the half, 2 to Matt Wilkinson and Dayton Ureta.
5 goals for the game, Fergus Green, thanks to Richard Jones. Just as you sent that message, send it through. Back to Max Merritt. And the media order, yeah, I know, but I like it. As he goes, he kicks a goal.
He's kicked two.
And I actually didn't know. I've got in the habit of calling him Max Merritt. But that's a goal. Score sponsor is Don Is Good, Don Smallgoods. And that takes the lead now to Gisborne. The lead is, and we've got some fans coming in over the top of us taking some photos. You've got a good head for radio cam. As we go back in the middle, it's a 4-point margin, 4-5-29, and Eaglehawk 3-7-25. So 29 playing 25. I'm distracted by the camera scan.
Pretty good crowd in attendance here at Gardner Reserve, and they've just seen the home side hit the front for the first time in the contest. Clough emerges with a footy, fires out the handball. Then he wanted it back, went a little bit further forward. Couldn't quite take possession though. It's just bobbling around like a pinball at the moment. Kuma tracks after it for Eaglehawk and sees it over the boundary line for a boundary throw in. Right underneath the scoreboard, which reads Eaglehawk 3-7, Gisborne 4-5. Pyramid Hill 54 leading Serpentine 37 at half time in the Loddon Valley Footy League. So a couple of close games going on out in that league at the moment. Frost got to the front and knocked it to ground level, and then player taken without the footy will receive the free kick. Well, that probably should be 50 because they didn't handball it back to him on the full. But it'll be James Gray. He's been busy. Gray sends it with a nice Young pass. Or Young got the lead, and the kick looked like it was almost centimetre perfect, but it just dropped on him, and it's taken over the boundary line for a boundary throw in the right-hand forward pocket With the young boundary umpire, throw the ball back into play. And Gisborne would love one more goal before half-time, I reckon.
Yeah, 28 and a half gone, Cam, so just got to see if they can get one on the board just to extend that lead. Everything's handy from now. Zach Dennehy used his body well against Frost. Ooh. Then the ball comes to a dangerous position. Running onto the footy will be Hall. Merritt nicks it up. Out of the back goes bang.
He loves that one. He loved it. How's the celebration?
Comes through and kicks a goal. So that extends the lead now for Eaglehawk, for Gisborne. They were looking for that next goal. Score sponsor, Bendigo City Framers, Live 25, local fresh footy.
Three for that Merritt now?
That was Benaki that kicked that goal, I think.
Oh, Benaki. I went with... Did you go with Merritt?
I've gone with Benaki for that goal.
All right.
Well, it was.
Well, it's a 10-point margin, 5-5-35 to 3-7-25. And who are we to argue with Seb Bell-Bartels? He's got it all at me.
No, I know that was Benaki. I'll come back myself in on that one.
Throwing in the middle of the ground. Eaglehawk have just got to stop the bleeding in this quarter a little bit here. They'd love one more before the break. Mullen gets it and sends it towards centre half forward. Haven't seen a goal yet to this end of the ground. Vescovi will play on out of defence. Kick just carried over its intended target. And it will go over the boundary line for a boundary throw in. True centre wing position. Netball side of the ground here at Gisborne's Gardner Reserve. Nice conditions for footy. The breeze is playing havoc, but overall the sun is shining. Not your traditional Gisborne winter's day. And what they call the graveyard down here. Trying to emerge Evans. Got the handball out to a teammate. It's then taken in the tackles. The wind's just ramping up again here. Eaglehawk will kick the ball into the middle of the ground. No mark taken. Bouncing around. Now they've got some space through Bolger. Bolger will send it in the Isley direction and just won't quite get there. Turning around and just landing onto it will be Thompson. Goes backwards does Nick Thompson, and they're under all sorts of pressure. That's holding the ball. And, well, maybe it wasn't paid. I thought I saw the boundary umpire, the third umpire pay that one, but we'll get a boundary throw in. 55 out from goal.
13 and a half minutes. And the wind's so strong,
I must have been seeing things.
I turned down the effects mic, and the wind still comes through our commentary mic, so that's how strong it is, because it shouldn't really come through our commentary mic.
I had a full can of Coke on the table before and it got blown over. I'm devastated about that.
As the umpire will throw it in now.
It wasn't half empty, it was full.
Eaglehawk are in attack. Thompson at ground level tries to win it. Slinging tackle over the other side.
Blow up. There you go.
What did you see there, Zeb? Tell us.
A bit of a sling tackle there, but nothing out of the ordinary. It was a bit of fire, I think, in the game. That's what it is, I guess.
So the free kick goes to Eaglehawk. It was a Gisborne player. I can't pick it up who it is, but Sam Thompson was the recipient of the free kick.
I think it was Murphy with the tackle.
Now Thompson, that was a poor kick, puts his teammates under pressure. As the siren sounds for half-time here at Gardner Reserve, Gisborne may lead 5-5-35, a 10-point margin to Eaglehawk 3-7-25, and that quarter went 31 and a half minutes, Cam, for half-time.
That it did, so it is half-time here at Gisborne's Gardner Reserve. Other games going on in Bendigo footy today. It is South Bendigo taking on Castlemaine.
When it comes to reducing pain and rebuilding strength, Keyser leaves nothing to chance. Our university-qualified health professionals don't just treat problem areas, they design personalised training programs using Swiss-engineered machines unique to Keyser. These machines safely isolate the affected area, test your strength, and help rebuild your muscles for a stronger and healthier life. Keyser, physiotherapy, rehabilitation, and strength training. Building strength with precision.
For the Bendigo Football Netball League, top 5 for round 10. Number 1, Jack Thompson from Eaglehawk here. A great goal. The hand pass comes his way. Instead of taking it, he just kicks it mid-air. How good is that? Number 2, Caden Antonowitz from South Bendigo. Another off-the-ground effort. This one in a bit of chaos. Gets it over the line. Great goal. Number 3, we're looking for a mark here. Joel Buderick from Eaglehawk, out on the wing, takes one snatch at it, then dives and takes the mark. Have a look at that in replay. How good is that? Number 4, Kobe Maxted from Sandhurst here. Ball coming in over his head. It bounces kindly for him. Then he gets it and goes goal. A brilliant goal. Number 5, Stephen Strabans from South Bendigo caught the ball on the edge of the pack, goes bang, and it goes careering to goal, bowling everybody and making its way over the line.
bring some stats for us this afternoon, as he's a little bit technically challenged. I hand him a microphone. You see that button that says on norm? You push that generally if you want to get some power and have a bit of a chat on air, and I think he's done just that. But welcome to halftime here at Gardner Reserve. It's what have you made? Firstly, before you give some stats, what have you made in your summary of the game so far, Norm? Because you've been watching pretty closely.
It's been an interesting first half there, John. Both sides were very good going into the wind. The only thing was it was Gisborne a little bit better with the wind. I thought that the start of that quarter, Eaglehawk handled it well going against the wind. They used handball and tried to run the ball. They had 10 inside 50s that quarter, but most of them were shallow, and Gisborne 18 inside 50s, and Gisborne kicked 5 goals 3. With the wind, they held Eaglehawk scoreless. And all Gisborne's goals came from general play. They got the ball into the forward line, they kept it moving, and they found players on a lead or handballed the players on the run. So it was, for mine, Gisborne handled it better with the wind. Eaglehawk handled it better against the wind. And when you look at it, we've had 2 quarters, 34 minutes, 53, and 31 minutes, 20 seconds. So it's going to be a long second half, and I think by the time we get to the final siren, it's going to be very cool, and it's going to be getting a little bit dull down here at Gardner Reserve.
You did mention that sides handling the conditions, but if one of these sides really get on top in whatever quarter they've got the wind, they could potentially tear it apart, because really 1 step or 2 steps from that centre circle, we've seen players kicking the ball the distance and almost going through for goal. So all they need to really do is judge it a little bit better, and potentially, you know, you could blow the margin out in just a very short period of time.
Well, that's right, and the start of that second quarter, we saw Repo get a free kick down in the goal square, and his kick ended up carrying the centre circle and bouncing through into the forward line for Gisborne, and that got them their first goal for the quarter. 2 kicks from a free kick deep in defence, and they've kicked a goal. So, as you say, John, the ball, it's travelling well with the wind. I noticed during that second quarter, though, it did die off a bit in the middle part, and that made it a little bit easier for Eaglehawk. So we'll see what happens in this third quarter. Gisborne, they've just got to play the same as they did in the first quarter and keep the pressure on Eaglehawk, make it difficult for them to score, and that'll stand them in good stead going into the last quarter.
I've been impressed with a bit of a target up forward, young Matt Merritt. Well, he's not young anymore, he's been around for quite a while. We've seen a bit of footy from him, but he seems to be more of a target than somebody like a Jed Danaher or a Zach Danaher, or one of those taller players, because he's got presence. He hasn't got the tall, the height of what some of those other players have got.
Yeah, and what I've noticed when they've kicked it into Merritt in the forward, and they've kept it a bit lower. I mean, when you put the ball up in the air, there's only been 6 intercept marks in forward or back 50s for opposition today. There's been 2 by Gisborne and 4 by Eaglehawk, and that's because Gisborne have kept the ball lower to Merritt, and the opposition haven't been able to outmark him, because for his size, he's got plenty of bulk to him, and he can take the opposition out of play with a nice little nudge and then take a good mark.
So based on what you've seen, and not on anything else that's happened all year, just what you've seen this first half, who wins?
Well, if it continues the same as it has in the first half of the game, you would think that Gisborne will continue on and will be able to hold on for another win down here at the graveyard.
Sorry, me and Cam just having a little bit of a...
I can see having a little bit of a to-do there. While we're looking at that, round the grounds, MCD from today, there's Navarre and Natty Bialba. Now, they're old foes, and it doesn't matter where they are on the ladder. They play some very good football, and currently it's Navarre who are 6th on the ladder, 6-4-40, to Natty Bialba, who currently sit 2nd on the ladder, 2-5-17. So could be an upset in the making there in the MCD for now.
No upset at Harcourt out at the Giants. They look they're falling behind. 4-4-28, the Giants, Harcourt 9-7.
You told me the Giants were home and hosed at quarter time now, John.
The McKnight boys have got 1 goal each, thanks for Alison, their mother, who's out there watching the young boys go, and Cam's finished feeding his face, and he's joined us for the second half of the broadcast. And
You told me the Giants were home and hosed.
No, I said that Norm will be walking home if there's a bit of an upset. So let's get this second half
Well,
underway
he's in the
here.
car with you, so there's a chance he may be walking home yet still.
It's a 10-point margin. Gisborne 5-5-35. Eaglehawk 3-7-25. Live 25. Local fresh footy. Here's Cam Power.
So Blake got the first hit down, Frost tracked after it. Clough's in there for Gisborne. Handball out, they'll send it out in the direction from, that'll come from, I reckon it might have been Mins in there for Gisborne. Up towards centre half forward, lurking around. We'll have a ball up. It was nice. Cross half back here. all up happening here at the Gisborne Garden Reserve at the moment. I'm just trying not to control my burnt lip at the moment as Tom Bennett's handball to a teammate under all sorts of pressure who was taken straight away, and the umpire says it was a throw. So free kick will go Gisborne. Wouldn't they love to get one against the Breeze to start this quarter? He steps one way, then he steps the other. Goes a short pass. That was Darcy Young. Didn't quite find its target. Eaglehawk can recover. Handball out. Now it comes out to Budrick. Budrick's handball backwards to Hall. And Hall gives it off to Budrick again. Under all sorts of pressure here, Eaglehawk. Gisborne have ramped it up to start this third quarter. Turnover in the middle of the ground. Frost was there. Now they'll send it inside forward 50s from Ryan Burke to the Dogs up towards centre half forward. No mark taken. Spilling around, it spills out. It'll be sent inside forward 50. Might have been Luxmore that sends it in. Dennehy tracks after it. Dennehy gets the bounce he was after. He tries to run into open goal. And he had it begging for him, except Ben Thompson was there and he launched at him and got him. Holding the ball. He thought he was on. And Dennehy said, no sir, not today. Terrific last line defence tackle. Eaglehawk working out of defence, fast play up towards centre wing, but it'll be turned over because Vescovi, he dropped the mark. Vescovi goes in with a second effort. Good battle. Eventually we'll get the ball up as he takes it over. That was a magnificent tackle from Ben Thompson on the last line of defence.
Yeah, it was Nick Rewalt like in the grand final many years ago when he just about to kick the goal and he was mowed down in the goal square by Heath Shaw, I reckon, or one of the Shaw boys.
Was that the Liberian call?
Yeah, that was the Liberian call. As Eaglehawk looking to get some score on the board, they need to get 2 goals just to even up the ledger. As using his body well was Blake of the Dogs, banged it on the boot, didn't really look. Dennehy, Zach was the target, turned it over, gave to Kuma of Eaglehawk. Kuma kicks it long, but another turnover to Florini, who takes a chest mark. He'll come defensively in his back zone to Jed Dennehy. Dennehy, they'll work it. They're going to reverse horseshoe it again to Jack Reaper in the opposite back pocket. Now they'll horseshoe out through Reaper. Oh, he puts it high in the air. Lucky the wind didn't get hold of it, but it's a turnover and a mark has been taken for Eaglehawk by Nick Hall.
So Hall quickly sends it back inside forward 50. His kick probably skewed off the side of the boot a little bit. Frost will then, he almost got it. Blake got an important fist in there. Knocked it out. Burke tracks after it. Handball to a teammate who just tries it towards the boundary line. Burke will come back and provide some assistance, and happily you'll see it over the boundary line from Joel Mullen. So we'll get it thrown in right in front of us, broadcast position. Gisborne leading by 10 points. 3 minutes gone, third quarter. Eaglehawk have to utilise the Breeze in this quarter. You'd think to be any chance heading into the last quarter, they probably want to be 3 goals up, I reckon, Johnny. Throw in. It'll be Frost that'll get beaten to it by Blake. Blake's handball missed its target, bounced away from Evans. Knocked away. Again, Gisborne cattling towards the boundary line. Evans is there. It's just a bit of a scrap for it at the moment. Eventually emerged out through Burke. Burke to Blake, who kicked it straight into Frost, and then it frosted off him. Ball up again. That was a very scrappy little bit of play, but there's a lot of desperation in this game at the moment.
We're joined this afternoon by Zeb Bell-Bartels, injured player from Gisborne. He's just been at half-time, just doing what he does best and mingling with the people. So you're back with us, Zeb?
I am back, and I can't lie, I was eating a schnitzel roll before I jumped on. So
fair enough. But I think that the wind's died down a little bit from the first half. What do you think?
It does feel like that. Definitely listening through the mic, I can't hear it as much. I don't know if you've turned it down, but it seems that it has calmed a little bit.
Did you get down to the huddle at half-time in the rooms, or did you just spend it in the social rooms?
I ended up getting held up by everyone trying to get there, talking about the holiday I just got back from, but
Signing autographs. You gave us no insights and set play, so why would I think you're going to give us anything else?
It's a free kick to Ryan Burke across half-back, who was collected high for the Dogs. So Burke has it. I reckon you're right though, the breeze certainly seems to have died off a bit here. Burke's going to take his time and then he'll wheel around on the left. Down the line it goes, knocked away from Gisborne there by Zach Dennehy. Into the middle of the ground they go. They'll send it inside forward 50 through Young, but getting back there defensively for Eaglehawk will be Bolger. Clears the kick across to Donat. Now Donat can go to Sam Thompson. Sam Thompson can get it over the top. He's got the runner there in McGregor if he can get it to him. Has to step around the tackle and he might have stepped over the boundary line, I reckon, there. I'm assuming that he was trying to play on around and he'd gone over the boundary. That's all I can assume there. Didn't quite catch that one, did you, Johnny?
No, I missed it as well.
Probably wasn't aware of his spatial around him there.
Umpire will now throw it in. Up they go in the ruck. It'll be Frost who puts it to the front of the pack. Getting involved was Gray. I like Gray's game this afternoon for the Dogs as the ball heads towards the boundary line and it goes over. And 49.
Bendigo City Framers Best on Ground Sponsors Award as well. Might be in contention for that one, Johnny.
A $100 voucher we're giving away to sponsor Zeb. Who have you liked from Gisborne that we should put in contention for that's been this afternoon so far?
I think Reaper's been very consistent for us, and definitely Babinaki, and as you said, James Gray has had a lot of footy too.
As the ball is in dispute again, still 45 from home. Gisborne in attack, and they'll be eating up the minutes, and I like this, Cam, because we've gone 6 minutes, there's no change to the score, and the use of this wind, albeit it's dropped off, is not being utilised.
No, it's not. I don't think it's as strong as what it was, but they'll work the ball into the middle here, Eaglehawk. Now they can come. Evans will send it inside forward 50. Isley will have to come from behind and force the contest. He gets at the back. Can Isley get the handball over the top to Hall? Isley decides to go himself and he snaps it through for a minor score. Maybe could have given the handball off to Nick Hall, I reckon, there. So it's a minor score to Bailey Isley. The first score of the quarter is a minor to Eaglehawk. 3-8 to 5-5. 9-point game, 6 minutes gone. Quarter score sponsor Jason Westcott Builder.
Well, McKenna's going to bring it in from full back. He plays on and sends it scoreboard wing. Comes off hands, trying to make a path was Evans at ground level.
Pat McKenna's like the old under 10s days where you just had your zone and you just stayed in that forward 50 and then you played 1 quarter in the back line, 1 quarter in the forward. Pretty much. He just stayed up the centre of the ground.
He's playing loose in the back line at the moment, and as it goes through for behind, I'll ask Zeb, do we see him often playing that loose rolling back? Because I haven't when I've seen Gisborne games.
That's a first for me. I mean, since I've been away and I've come back, I haven't seen that. But he's a great kick, so obviously you want him with the football in the hands.
Yeah, I just wonder if it's because of the breeze that they just feel like they mightn't be able to utilise his brilliance if he's up the other end of the ground, maybe.
Potentially, that could be one of Robbie's tactics.
McKenna with a short pass to Vescovi, gives it back to McKenna as he runs straight through, then goes like a little barrel. Didn't make any type of form of reasonable connection with it whatsoever, but it might work out for the Dogs. They get a little bit of loose ball through Werner. Chaos ball up towards centre half forward may work out. Hard up against the boundary line. Going through now. Werner again. Gotten followed up on his second effort. Now he's got a third of it. Paddles it to himself. Couldn't quite take it cleanly. Can give it off to Merritt, but he's taken a tackle by Mullen and the umpire his arms across centre half forward. But you'd be pretty happy if you're Rob Waters with the work rate of there from Werner.
I'm sure he would have.
He's been good this afternoon too. Werner's got his hands on the footy a bit. As front and centre receiving the tap there was Young, who goes across the body and puts it to the top of the square. Eaglehawk, they'll mop up through Sam Thompson, a little give, sharing it around nicely. The ball in the direction of Hall. He couldn't mark it and causes a turnover. Now it'll come back the other way through Florini. He goes inside forward 50, shallow. And a free kick might have been a little hit into the rib cage. Free kick will go the way to Jacob O'Brien, and it is Jacob O'Brien's got the free. So that should be 50. Did you see that, Cam? No, Cam's got his eyes on me.
I saw that.
Oh, you did see it?
I did see that, yeah.
He threw the ball at a different player. Yeah.
It's a bit unlucky sometimes. It's a bit of hit or miss with those free kicks.
Yeah, if it doesn't go back to the bloke that got the free kick, it should be 50.
Yeah, I agree.
Anyway, it's not, so we play on. As the ball go to now the scoreboard wing, Eaglehawk pick it up through Holland did well over the top. In fact, what's been done it? Sandwich. Two for that wing. Where's got food everywhere? It's not going to go. It's going to go well past, don't you worry? With lettuce and chips and God knows what else.
You don't eat those green things, do you, John?
Is the umpire?
That's probably why they're
flying everywhere, I reckon. That was what was left. Obviously, you haven't looked in the mirror, Cam. There's some ball coming inside. Forward 50 to the top of the score. Reaper got a fist in there, and he's been good up there with the Dogs' best this afternoon. Candidate for the Bendigo City Framers, $100 sponsorship award this afternoon. It's a minor score, 28 Eaglehawk. They still trail Gisborne 35, and we've gone 10 minutes. Third term, live 25, local fresh footy.
McKenna will bring the ball back into play as he has done so far this afternoon. A little bit slower this time. Eventually steps out of the goal square. Will then send the kick out of defence. But it will go straight down the throat of Ben Thompson, who intercepts for Eaglehawk. 60 out from goal. Horse standing at the top of the goal square, unmarked at the moment. If he can get the kick in that direction, I think that's where he's going. The Gisborne defence will then come across to make it a one-on-one contest. Reaper will play the goal line goalkeeper, and he'll rush it over for a minor score, and we'll reset and do it all again. This time Pat McKenna plays on quickly with a short pass. Hard up against the boundary line. It's taken there by, looks like James Gray, who plays on.
It's 6-point margin, 29 playing 35. Ball is in dispute on the boundary line. Thompson getting involved, so is Billy Evans. They'll work it nicely here through Bolger as well, but comes off hands. And good defensive play, Gisborne, and they're holding up well in this third term, Zeb, as well, because they obviously don't want scores on the board with this wind.
Definitely not. But I've got to say, last quarter too, Eaglehawk did a great job getting some forward entries as well. So it's pretty even at the moment, what I've seen.
Knocked down. Handball forward from Nick Thompson. Turned over though. Gisborne will just send it into the middle of the ground. Langford tracked after it, couldn't quite take it back, and then he slipped over at the important second. Werner's back in there battling away for Gisborne. He's been very lively in this opening 11 minutes of this third quarter. Ball up in the centre of the Gardner Reserve.
He's a tough player, Werner.
Sun's starting to be in a bit of a nuisance spot right in the corner of my eye at the moment. Knocked down. Benacki's in there for Gisborne. Repeat a ball up. 55 out from goal. Knocked down, but it's gone straight in the direction of Zarafa. Zarafa's kick out of defence from Gisborne was good. Eaglehawk have got Langford back there, who was clean with the handball. Found its way to a teammate who's under a lot of pressure, and he's just taken towards the boundary line, and a good tackle there by Campbell Johns. And we'll have a ball up right on the boundary line, about 75 metres out from the goal, which Eaglehawk are attacking.
North Central three-quarter time. It's Donald 2-3-15. They trail St Arnaud 6-16-52. And that's the only three-quarter time score we've come through to date, as Eaglehawk have got it deep in the back zone. They'll look to horseshoe out as well. Picking it up eventually was Bolger. One kick, puts it into a path of Dunnett. Lots of support. Hard here. That was Thompson. You called it there, Zeb. Nick. He'll have one bounce. He'll run to 50. He'll go goalward. Reaper's on the line and won't reach it. And that's a good goal.
He loves it.
That takes it to all tied up, 4-11-35 to 5-5-35. Score sponsor, Aussie Disposals, Live 25, local fresh footy, and that's probably their best bit of play all afternoon, I reckon, Eaglehawk.
That was almost anything, really. Thompson did a great job there to take it on and kick the goal, especially with the wind. He kept it low and nailed it straight through the middle.
Terrific finish by Nick Thompson. Sometimes a game like can just be won by a few moments of individual brilliance. And such a brilliant player is Nick Thompson, new to the club for Eaglehawk this year. No relation to the other three Thompsons out there.
I was wondering that, yeah.
Going up in the middle.
Interesting.
Ball comes down, Mullen in there making the tackling for Eaglehawk. 10-point margin, 13 gone. Well, sorry, 10-point margin. Scores a level, 13 gone in the third quarter. It was a 10-point margin at half-time. Eaglehawk have reduced it to a level ball game at the moment. They'll emerge through the middle of the ball after a free kick and a quick play on. They'll send it in the O'Shannessy direction. Vescovi might have just gone under the footy a little bit. Oh, he's picked it up. He's shoved off the McKenna tackle and then just dropped the ball completely. And he's gone holding the ball. Great tackle. So Matt McKenna and 50-metre penalty as well. Yes, I reckon it might have been against Blake McGregor here, the way the umpire's instructing him. Maybe it might have been for encroaching on that protected zone. I'm not too sure, but Joel Wood, the umpire. Free kick, Pat McKenna and 50. So he's in the centre of Gardner Reserve. He'll whip out wide. Strong mark is taken. That's Jed Dennehy. Dennehy has it. Centre wing. He'll chip inboard with a nice kick. Back to where it came. McKenna. So a lot of it. Accumulating the possessions and might be starting to make his case for our Bendigo City Framers Best on Ground Sponsors Award the way he's going in this third quarter. Force the kick inside forward 50. No mark taken. Spills to ground. Handball off. Now it's going to be a shot for Luxmore. And he sneaks it in for a minor score. It is a 1-point lead to Gisborne, 16 gone, third quarter. Score sponsor is Parsons Towings in Castlemaine on Live 25 Local Fresh Footy.
Just a no muck around, done it, kicks it out from full back after he played on. I was just about to say McKenna, he is getting a lot of the footy, but it probably seems amplified because he's kicking them all out from full back as well, isn't he? He's playing as well. His defensive work has been really good. He's tackling as well.
Have we had a goal from the creek end yet? Or?
No, I don't think we have all afternoon.
No.
So it comes into the middle. Gisborne win the footy kick. Clough, and he's picked up a teammate and spotted him in Luxmore, who ran to the pocket. And well, only going to be accuracy with this win with this young man, isn't it, Sid?
I think he's got to back himself in here and go for it. So let's really see how he handles the wind.
This will be an important goal if they get it, because the first goal of the afternoon to the northern end against the wind, and Gisborne have got the wind in the last term, and it's a 1-point margin at the moment. They lead, and he won't get a goal on that one, so that's a minor score. So it's a 2-point margin, 37 playing 35, 16 goal midway through this third term. Live 25 local fresh footy.
Ball it straight back in.
Quick ball movement out. Now they'll get the handball. Eaglehawk have worked it up towards centre wing, past centre wing in fact. Comes down the direction of Jack Thompson. Jack Thompson got it, knocked it forward, just slipping over at the important second there for Eaglehawk. There was Ty Evans, which allowed the opposite 27 in Gisborne to come through. Goes off to Benaki. That player 27, of course, is Zach Dennehy. And they've just worked it forward, but an intercept mark will go the way of Eaglehawk. Kuma has it, points, and then he just unlaunches a high ball in the Frost direction. It gets to the back. Here's a chance though for Evans. Ty Evans can handball over the top to Thompson. He overcooked the handball a little bit. Jack Thompson still running, still going. Great tackle, Pat McKenna. Thompson didn't have the footy umpire says you did, and Pat McKenna saves the day. The last line of defence, because if he got the ball, Jack Thompson, he was either going or giving it off to Nick Thompson, who was in the goal square all on his own. So kudos to Pat McKenna. And the lead is now out to a 1-point margin. 17 gone third quarter. McKenna will play on.
McKenna kicks it in from full back. And taps it to Merritt. Merritt, he goes now short on the boundary line. Tracking the footy will be Miletus. So that's it, Miletus. Miletus.
He's a great man.
I'll tell you what, we talked about McKenna saving that goal in the goal score. We've seen it this afternoon. We've seen it probably 4 or 5 times.
Jack Leeper especially down there's the goalkeeper.
And yeah, he's been the best at it.
Definitely, he's always good at that.
Frost wins tap with a big punch, but gives it straight to Evans. I'll share it around now. Mullen dropped a footy that he should have taken. Then it's picked up by Merritt of the Dogs, so it's a turnover. Now another turnover. Coombe, cute little handball over the top. Sharing it around here in the back half. Mullen, it was overcooked for Mullen. He runs on it. Little give to Thompson. Now the way through Frost. 1-on-1. Reaper's got back position against Isley. Reaper was brilliant. Then he kicks it down the line and saves it all in.
That's terrifically done by Reaper. Gets it off Dennehy. Dennehy hugs the boundary line, but he might have gone a little bit too far over. Mark was taken, but it was out of bounds. Campbell Johns tries to play his case over there, but it was definitely over. Passing board with K for Eaglehawk. In the hands of Evans, I reckon. So pass. In fact, it was left foot to Mullen. 60 out from goal. Gets a lead from Frost. He goes in that direction. Kick just didn't quite get to him, and it's over the boundary line for a boundary throw in. Interesting though that Reaper was happy to let Isley present at that footy and just kind of set himself back on the last line. What we've been talking about, Johnny.
Yes. Cyclone basic.
I was just thinking that.
Through the headsets then.
Yeah.
So doing the forwards now, Eaglehawk, well, they still haven't got the lead. They trail by 1 point. They're running out of time in the third term. O'Shaughnessy on the end of a handball. Will go goal and miss. That was another opportunity to build up. A couple of players on the end of that to a 1 point margin Gisborne lead. That was a good bit of play.
I thought that was going to go for a second there.
Yeah. So, maybe in the first quarter, I agree. Just kind of stopped a little bit in that direction. So that'll be back to play Ryan Burke. Nice kick down the line. Mark not taking though. Matt Merritt taking over the boundary line. Eagle throw in. Scoreboard has 37 apiece. It was a 10-point margin at half time. It's now 37 each. Really haven't got over double figures as a margin for the majority of the game. Been a good contest throw in. We'll have a repeat ball up. Let's see if Clough can get it out here. And he gone to the ruck there, knocked it down. Merritt just got the handball through. Benaki didn't find the way through. It was out to Clough. Clough's handball knocked away from him. Through the kick there is going against Ethan Hanley. So it will be in the direction of Geyser Raffa. Centre wing. Can come back with the scope if he wants. That's exactly what he's going to do. Now, next pass should be across the DNA, but maybe had to be a little bit quicker on that. He's going to go back to where it came from. Raffa will take it underneath the scoreboard.
The shows called up inboard. He comes aggressively as Raffa finds Burke. Defensive sort of got Scovey running for him in to ignore that. He'll come inboard on the left. He'll go half forward. In they'll set themselves. Comes to the back. The Hawk need to be careful. They'll turn over as it comes back to spot. No clear win. Tracking the footy there. Young for the Dogs. Then loses it. The ball with Isley at the top of the square. Defensive square is defending well, and Clough also getting involved. Right at the top of the northern end square. A goal has not been kicked this afternoon. Cam, let's see if you can get one.
Let's throw in. We clear the left for the Hawk, but the free kick to opportunity. And it's going to be. He called it. What was the free kick for?
Holding the man, man.
So, is it a rucking contest? I think.
Norm saying it was a shepherd off the ball. Yep. In the ruck.
So Merritt's going to receive the free kick. It's Matt, not Max. Matt Merritt.
Do you know who Matt Merritt is?
2 goals. I haven't got a kick. He didn't play his
This man, they song called Slipping Away from
Merritt comes in. 35 out directly in front for goal against the Blues. Yes. The first one of the day. 20 minutes in the third quarter.
That's his
Has 3 and Gisborne have a big goal and they led by 1 straight kick late in the third quarter. Score sponsor up and Stings on 95 local fresh footy.
I feel said.
look up after
Classics.
you have it. You got me to some tunes. I've got the DJ decks on.
Did you like my singing too?
Yeah, I didn't mind it. I like the sound.
Because we're going live this afternoon. Back in the middle. Can't believe you don't know Max Merritt videos. Well, we've got a game. 37 again. Get one to the northern end. The wind start to hammer through the mics. Spill scoring up. Tapped it. Evans, who's been relatively quiet this afternoon. Now again, Gisborne true. His target was Benaki, but it was too severe. It goes past him and over boundary cross half, giving an attack. North end will have a ball in for playing 37, a 1 goal straight margin. 6 points it is. Gisborne in the 4 minutes third.
boys.
Again, back.
I'll just give you this one, Cam. Newstead 60 against 58, so they're a close one there.
Yeah, game going on between you and ex-commentators last season, coaching out at Newstead now, Johnny. Don Moran doing a good job as well. But beating Mold, I think. Disrespect. Defense send it up. No, Thomas Bennett. Second look at it. Missed head little is going to result in a chance for them to go inside forward 50. Johnson's back there. Hand across from O'Brien. Kuma. Grubber for Bolger steps away. Now he's got space. Got it. And the nice looking kick forward 50. Late down Bailey Isley. Will line up the goal. 35 minutes now. That 50 is not quite 50 metres. 50.
I'd like to say 45. Let's say he's kicking around
50. It's genuine.
I say 45.
But at the moment, and probably for the first time, about the
When it comes to reducing pain and rebuilding strength, Kaiser leaves nothing to chance. Our university-qualified health professionals don't just treat problem areas, they design personalised training programs using Swiss-engineered machines unique to Kaiser. These machines safely isolate the affected area, test your strength, and help rebuild your muscles for a stronger and healthier life. Kaiser, physiotherapy, rehabilitation, and strength training. Building strength with precision.
For the Bendigo Football Netball League, top 5 for round 10. Number 1, Jack Thompson from Eaglehawk here. A great goal. The hand pass comes his way. Instead of taking it, he just kicks it mid-air. How good is that? Number 2, Caden Antonowitz from South Bendigo. Another off-the-ground effort. This one in a bit of chaos. Gets it over the line. Great goal. Number 3, we're looking for a mark here. Joel Buderick from Eaglehawk, out on the wing, takes one snatch at it, then dives and takes the mark. Have a look at that in replay. How good is that? Number 4, Kobe Maxted from Sandhurst here. Ball coming in over his head. It bounces kindly for him. Then he gets it and goes goal. A brilliant goal. Number 5, Stephen Strabantz from South Bendigo. Caught the ball on the edge of the pack, goes bang, and it goes careering to goal, bowling everybody and making its way over the line.
Live 25, local fresh footy, and we've got the close one in round 11, but Eaglehawk have it all to do, kicking against the breeze. 4:13:37 to Gisborne, 6:7:43. Norm Jenkins been with us this afternoon on stats. Norm, how are they looking over there?
Well, inside 50s in the third quarter were even. There was 13 to Gisborne, kicked the first goal to the northern end for the day, which has given them the advantage, and 16 inside 50s for Eaglehawk, and they've wasted their inside 50s today when they've got there. There were no intercept marks in the 50-metre lines in that quarter, and it was an interesting game, quarter of football where both sides' defences were on top, and for sure Gisborne's defence was on top, and they were able to keep Eaglehawk out. Eaglehawk had plenty of opportunities but just weren't able to make the most of them.
The goal kickers in this game so far for Eaglehawk is Joel Budrick, Nick Thompson, Nick Hoare and Ben Thompson. While for Gisborne it is Benaki, Braden Blake, 3 to Matt Merritt and 1 to Pat McKenna. So the final quarter is about to get underway here at Gisborne's Gardner Reserve. Seb Belbar tells who's going to have a big last quarter and who's going to win.
I can't go past Brad Benaki to have a big last quarter. I don't want to be biased, but I'd like to back Gisborne to win this one.
Yeah, I think Gisborne be in the box seat at the moment. They lead by only a goal, but they do have the breeze, and they've kicked only the 1 goal today against the breeze in that third quarter. So the final quarter underway, 6 points the difference. What have Eaglehawk got? Frost tries to get the clearance out of there. Kick was partially smothered. First 5 minutes of this last quarter are going to be massive. They'll send it inside forward 50 from Joel Mullen. Bouncing ball across centre half forward. They come tacking hard out of it. Good tackling from Eaglehawk will result in a ball up 55 out from goal. Of course, we've got our best on ground Bendigo City Framers Sponsors Award to hand out today as well. Step, who have you got in mind for that at the next stoppage? As Gisborne will try and relieve the ball out of the fence.
At this point of the game, I'd like to say Jack Reaper.
Mullins kicked inside forward 50 towards O'Shannessy, couldn't quite take it. Ben Thompson was taken in a strong tackle, had plenty of time to get rid of it, just stood up, set it to the top of the goal square, strong mark taken in the goal square. That is a terrific grab from Eaglehawk right in the goal line.
No.
It might be Nick Hoare, I think, in the orange boots down there. He's already kicked a goal this afternoon. It was a terrific grab from Nick Hoare. And this will just put a little bit of doubt if they can kick the first goal of the final quarter against the breeze. Nick Hoare steps in and puts it through. Gives the celebration. He's got 2 and we're dead level again. 1 minute and 20 going into the final quarter. Do not go anywhere. Stoke up that fire if you're listening at home, because a big final quarter to come. Score sponsor Aussie Disposals. Live 25 local fresh footy.
I'm a bit nervous here. I'm on the edge of my seat. I don't know who's going to win this. It's close.
So what matchups do you reckon Gisborne need to roll with in this final quarter?
Creamer and Merritt have been a great matchup all day, I think, and it's going to be interesting to see what Pat McKenna does in this last quarter.
Definitely sitting forward, Pat McKenna. Next clearance, next goal become massive in this game. Clough handballs it out wide. Bolger picks it off for Eaglehawk. Turnover handball.
Werner.
Gisborne will send it inside forward 50s from Werner. Mark almost pulled down from Merritt. It spills to Luxmore. Luxmore snaps around the body and he just misses. But he gives Gisborne back the lead. 1 point, 6-8-44 to 5-13-43. Langford will bring the ball back into play. Score sponsor, Bendigo City Framers.
So it's Langford with the footy. 1 point margin. Langford, long shadows here now at Gardner Reserve. He plays on from fullback. He'll send it long beyond 50. They'll set themselves. Blake is in the area, running onto it. Will be Hanley for Eaglehawk. They'll keep the footy in. Thompson also there. And the ball is shoveled out in the direction of Ganahy. A little give will send it long to a teammate to the top of the square. Merritt's there. Will he keep his feet? Running on his Budrick. Might have got one too high for Eaglehawk. Handballs over the top. Eaglehawk under immense pressure. Budrick slams it on the boot. Beyond 50 to the back of the pack. Picked up by the big ruckman in Frost.
Frost does a little bit of a U-turn spin and then clears the kick out towards centre half forward turnover. Mark taken there. It is Lachlan Evans in the long sleeves for Gisborne this afternoon. Goes central. Ryan Burke has it. Handballs back to Evans. Good run. Evans with a nice kick towards Luxmore. Good punch there came from Kuma. Spills to ground level. And, well, it was Clough who was taken. Tried to get away, and he was caught in a strong tackle by Ben Thompson. And an incorrect disposal would be the ruling there. So Ben Thompson can go straight into the middle to Hanley if he wants. He goes down the middle, but it wasn't for Hanley. It was intended for Eaglehawk. Bouncing around Nick Thompson. Just missed its intended target. Few of the skill areas that Eaglehawk would love to have back there. And will result in a ball up, but geez, they had an opportunity to go straight through the middle there if they were good enough, Eaglehawk. Frost knocks it down. Ben Thompson swings out of the tackle and gets it out towards Tommy Bennett. Tommy Bennett to Sam Thompson. Sam Thompson can give it to Evans. Evans was labouring a little bit, just managed to keep the ball in front of him, was taken in the tackle, got it forward to Mullen, knocked over the boundary line for a boundary throw in.
Good effort by Young there, chasing down.
Defensive efforts from Gisborne, and it's efforts like that from Young that may go a long way to them winning the game.
It's a bit of a arm wrestle here, Seb.
1 point. I don't know how to feel. It's very close.
So let's hope for the sake of the game it remains that right to the end of this game. Two teams vying for final spots in season 2025. Mullen on the end of the handball now for Eaglehawk. He'll put it on the outside of the boot. He'll go inside forward 50. O'Shaughnessy's the target. He's been quiet this afternoon. Handball to Billy Evans. Billy Evans over the top again. Oh, Thompson might have got one too high. He made the umpire look. Jack Thompson. Geez, you're doing well, Zeb. No, I don't even know him all. I've been commentating for years.
I play against all those guys.
He gave the handball off to Ty Evans, who absolutely unloaded from outside forward 50, and it just carried to the goal line for a minus score, so we're all level again here.
What did I call the 1 point margin, Cam, did I?
Yeah, well, there's a point that was kicked off now, dead level again. 44 playing 44, score sponsor, passes towing Castlemaine.
For Scovey, we've also got to give out an award for the Bendigo City Frame as our sponsors award for a $100 voucher this afternoon for Scovey Goes Long. Mark drop should have been taken by Ty Evans, who's been pretty quiet this afternoon. In comparison to his lofty games we've seen the last few weeks, Campbell, we'll have a whistle, ball up on half forward, and still a stalemate, still an arm wrestle.
Good talk.
Could be.
So Frost will go up, win the tap down. Trying to emerge with the footy there. Got into Rafa, who was tackled straight away. Repeat a ball up. Good contest at the moment. 7 minutes gone in the final quarter. Gisborne will clear the kick out of the fence, but it will float out of bounds. Not quite on the full. So that's probably a win, the fact it didn't carry out of bounds on the full. It forces a repeat stoppage on centre wing.
I think it's going to be a battle of the midfield in the last quarter. Most definitely.
It's going to come down to the wire. You can just sense it here. Umpire will throw it in. Up they go in the ruck. Blake at the back won it, grabbed it out of the air, gave it by hand to Benaki. They'll come through the middle here, Gisborne into the path. They're on here. It might be Johns, but they've got track to the footy, but running with it nicely with Donut. He goes to Thompson. Thompson inside forward 50. They'll set themselves. Oh, for Scovey. You called it there, Zeb. And he's been really good this afternoon defensively.
Very much reliable. You wouldn't rely on anyone more than him when it goes down your back.
Maybe Reaper.
I reckon I'll back Scovey in over Reeves.
Would you? Really?
Yeah, I'll back him in. He's one of the boys.
I reckon Reeves will be listening to this back during the week.
I hope he is.
On Tuesday night.
I hope so. Make him play a bit harder.
He's going to work down the line. Luxmore the target. Unable to find it. But the interesting one for me is O'Shaughnesy goalless this afternoon. 2 behinds in his return game. But Luxmore's also been goalless for Gisborne up the other end with 3 behinds to his name as well. So scores are level. Ball's on centre wing position. 44-44. 8 minutes gone, final quarter. Good contest brewing. Blake got to the front and knocked it down. Then he was able to pick up the ball. He tried to find a way through. Just got the handball out in time. Eaglehawk have got the numbers though at ground level. They try and fight their way through it. Sam's got his Gisborne hat on there. We'll call the ball up. 55 out from goal. 1 down.
Good contest.
Oh, Benaki found a way through. Gave the handball off to a teammate who will fire it around the body and go goalwards. He's kicked an absolute beauty. It's Campbell Johns.
Was it Johns? Yeah.
It was
In
Johns.
the contest, he was pushed and he snapped around the body, and Gisborne get a big goal. They lead it by 1 goal, 9 minutes into the final quarter. Score sponsor is Jason Westcott Builder. Live 25, local fresh footy. Here's the voice of Sepp Bell-Bartels.
Campbell Johns, he's came in as a superstar this year. He's really, the last couple of years I've seen him grow from an under-18s player into a senior player, and a lot of goals like that he's kicked this year, and he's been a very handy forward for us.
Very handy indeed when it comes to also scoring here. 6 points is the margin with the wind. Eaglehawk up against it now, you would think. Plenty of time still remaining in this game. We've not gone halfway through this final term, but it will be Gisborne who win it out to the middle. 1-on-1, Merritt's got the front position. 20 metres out from goal. It comes to ground. Merritt picks it up, goes to go on the left, dishes it off by hand. It'll be a goal! Dogs!
James Gray.
Gray banged it on the boot and extend the margin to 2 goals now. Score sponsor Don Smallgoods is John is good. Live 25, local fresh footy, and boy oh boy, that's a good minute or two for the Dogs at Bell-Bartels.
2 snaps in a row. It's it shows how contested it is, but the boys are capitalising here, so we'll see what happens for the rest of the quarter.
Full-time score thanks to Kevin Lowry out at Huntley, 16-17, 113. Sam Dunstan kicking 7, defeating Elmore 7-4-46. And of course they did that without their coach Hamish Morecambe, who was a late out as well today, but we'd be very happy with the Huntley boys at the moment, sitting comfortably in the top 3 in the Heathcote District Footy League here. Gisborne will receive a free kick out of the centre bounce.
Through Gray, I think, high tackle.
So Gray has it. He'll wheel it up towards centre half forward. Luxmore's got to go in a one-on-one battle. He falls to the ground. Spills out. McKenna's got it. He's 50 out. Goes to the top of the goal square. This could be a big moment for Matt Merritt. Couldn't take the mark. Good defensive mark taken for Eaglehawk by Ethan Hanley.
Great mark.
Oh, Hanley's kick was rather dangerous, but it might work out okay to Ben Thompson. The ever cool, calm and composed Ben Thompson. He'll wheel it up towards centre wing. Kick just kind of carried over everyone there, and maybe the wind will give them the benefit of the doubt for a boundary throw in centre wing position.
James Gray, contender for a $100 voucher this afternoon, our sponsors award, Cam, for Bendigo City Framers.
You have to be in there for sure. It's probably, I reckon I've got it down to 4 names.
Well, it's going to fall to you.
He might be in one.
You will how it's going to run is you'll let me know with a couple of minutes to go, and I'm going to just scoot down to ground level and see if we can get a quick word to the winner of our sponsors. Bendigo City
to go to give you time to get down there.
City Framers. Well, there's a quick way down if I go over the edge.
You almost fly out there with the wind.
I almost did earlier.
Now, Gisborne shouldn't lose this game from here, you would think. They're 2 goals up. They're on their home deck. They're kicking with the wind. They've got possession of the footy as it comes inside forward 50. Merritt's the target. Tough got a finger in there. Merritt goes one way then the other. They're sharing around the old 1-2. Are they over possession? Good tackling, Eaglehawk. Turnover. That's not a mark. Surely it's only 2 metres. But Kuma, wasn't it 2 metres?
Yeah, I didn't think it was a mark, but
It spilled to Kuma off the side of the dirt, and Kuma's got it for Eaglehawk, and now he'll relieve the pressure now for the bar.
To mark to Kuma, who will wheel the ball out of defence. He'll go up in the Frost direction. He'll take a strong grab. He's a terrific mark of the footy. He wheels and goes, puts it in the direction of Ben Thompson. It's set up okay for him, and then he was caught and the tackle dropped it. Oh, the ball.
Luke Miletus.
Terrific tackle by Miletus.
He's a pressure forward. He's good at those things.
Ben Thompson will be rather disappointed there. Miletus will geel and go. He goes longer than Gray. He sends it in. Luxmore from behind. Couldn't quite take it. Spills to ground. And we'll have a ball up. 25 out from goal.
I was going to say, Cam, this match is going to probably run late. It's going to go up beyond 5, I think. It's only 12 minutes gone.
Frost knocked it down. Gray trying to find a way through. Picked it up, sent it towards goal, off hands. Happy to see it over there would be Ty Evans. You heard the instruction to take it over. But it's a rather handy point. Now makes the margin more than 2 straight kicks.
Ty Evans played on from full-back, and it was a dangerous kick, turnover, free kick for a leg or a kick. I don't know which it was. It was one or the other. McKenna with the footy. It was Thompson. It was Ben Thompson. Was it a trip? Did you indicate triple kick?
Well, the signal looked like he was advertising for a kick or a leg.
It's always tricky with those calls, I guess.
This for the game, Zeb.
Ben Thompson didn't argue with the decision, though.
This for the game, you reckon?
Did you have anyone else with the ball in hand apart from your good self?
Apart from myself, probably no one else.
Paddy McKenna from 50. has missed. You give a bloke a rap and see what happens. 1 point, so that takes it. That's a handy point. It's taken it to 13 points, has it not?
14 points now.
14 points. Well, it's even more handy.
13-14, take your pick. Short pass to Kuma. Kuma will then go to Tommy Bennett. Tom Bennett can give it back to Kuma, who might just unload one straight down the middle of the ground. He does just that. O'Shaughnessy comes in from the side, and he might have been a free kick to O'Shaughnessy.
Close to Frost, actually.
And 50. The Gisborne players threw the ball back rather aggressively, and it'll be a free kick to Frost. So, and 50. So that is an absolute coach killer. Frost plays on and quickly sends it in the direction of the lead. Mark taken, and Bailey Isley has charged out and taken it. 15 out from goal.
That's a good kick by the big man.
And if he kicks this,
right in front of him.
it'll bring the margin back to 8 points. Big moment in the game. 15 minutes gone in the final quarter. Bailey Isley from the right-hand forward pocket kicks truly, and the game is well and truly alive at Gisborne's Gardner Reserve. 8-point ball game, 58 playing 50, 6-14, 8-10. Score sponsor Aussie Disposals on Live 25 local fresh footy.
That was a great kick by Frost there. Put it right in front of him. It's a very close game.
Rather disappointing to give away that 50 minutes.
Yeah, it was a bit. That's what we spoke about earlier, didn't we? The ball touching the ground, and I guess they paid it this time.
Not a lot of goals down that end too. So
That was the second one, I think.
second, third
One
one.
to Gisborne, third and 2 to Eaglehawk in this quarter.
Well, let's see who wins out of the middle. Billy Evans is there for the Borough. He does win it, but he just has a fresh area and it might cause a turnover. All held up, still smacking the metal as Gardner Reserve eventually. The umpire gave it every chance to get out and it didn't come.
The ground's held up very well for this time of year. I'm quite surprised, actually. So.
Yeah, you're right. Well, we probably haven't had the rain. How long have you been in Europe? Probably
Nah, not long, only a month, I think, so I haven't missed one.
Free kick in the middle here for James Gray for Gisborne. Big moment. The Gray's got it. 15 and a half gone, final quarter. The kick to Pat McKenna. Absolutely laced him. Langford came to at the last second to put in an important touch. And Evans has handled it straight over the boundary line.
They're asking for it, Cam.
They wanted it.
They wanted it.
They really wanted it.
So I don't reckon that one would have been paid even in the major leagues.
Yeah, I agree.
He was under enough pressure that could have disguised enough as a handball to get over. So throw in. Frost knocks it down. Free kick. Going Eaglehawk
Off the ball.
The non-officiating umpire has called that one, so it'll be free kick to Evans. It's the umpire in the centre of the Gardner Reserve here that called that one. So I'd say it might have been a little bit of contact off the ball. Evans goes with a short pass.
All kinds of noises going on with this one.
I don't know where that came from.
I don't want to know where that one comes from. So Bennett's got it. What's half back? Eaglehawk have to be brave now. I'll send it down the line, and a good mark taken by Vescovi. He's had a day on O'Shaughnessy. He throws his head back in frustration. Vescovi gets in quickly, moves it into the middle and finds Murphy. Murphy's kick inside forward 50. McKenna's got to beat two. Spills out the back. Langford called out of it by Kuma. Kuma then picks it up. Good
kick.
Gives to Holland.
Great kick.
Holland has it across half back for Eaglehawk. Haven't sighted him much since that opening quarter where he was impressive. Short pass was good.
They're taking it on here.
Billy Evans.
He handballs it on. Denny caught through the middle. Denny did very well. Almost caused a turnover. At least, well, we've got a whistle for a throw. Well, we were just about to build up there, and that umpire decided to intervene and say, no, I've picked out a throw. And it will go to Eaglehawk.
Geez, lucky not to get pinned holding the ball though.
Yeah. Free kick is with Marsh of the Borough. Unsure where to go. Shortest way home. He called it and has turned it over. He's kicked it straight to the opposition and kicked it to Werner, who's been pretty good for the Dogs this
O'Shaughnessy
afternoon.
was on a hard lead there, but the kick just didn't have enough on it in these conditions to get to him. And O'Shaughnessy throws his head back in frustration. He's just had one of those days, unfortunately, for young Jack O'Shaughnessy. Gisborne will work the ball down the line. Merritt's at the back of the pack. No Mark McKenna. Marsh gets it taken over the boundary line. The boundary throw in, centre wing.
I think the stoppages will be important in this last, what do we got, about 10 minutes left?
Said during the pre-game that a lot of the game would come down to who gets on top of the middle.
Definitely.
Feels like Eaglehawks midfield maybe just on top at the moment. They're down on the scoreboard. Sam Thompson barrels in for the bar. It's the ground level. We'll have a draw in the MCDFL. Thanks to Paul Wicks, Trentham and Carisbrook. 5 goals, 6 apiece to full-time score, so there's a draw. So maybe this isn't the closest one going around in the region.
Sets us up for our broadcast game next Saturday because the Bendigo Footy League have got interleague. We are going to Natty Bialaba against Carisbrook. So that sets up an interesting contest in the MCDFL. There's Billy Evans here at Gardner Reserve, another throw, so it will be Gisborne with a free kick. Just about out of reach now. There's about 6 minutes, Cam, so I'll get you to, you can perhaps point out to me who you think is the Bendigo City Framers $100 voucher award, our sponsors.
The game goes as Eaglehawk, sorry, Gisborne go inside forward 50, try to cut you off there. Half a chance. They clear out the defence for O'Brien to Bennett. Bennett then chugs off the tackle. Handball was good, finds its way to Bolger. Bolger's got some space. He'll send it up towards centre half forward. It sits nicely for Holland. Holland's handball off to Thompson. Again, turnover in the middle of the ground, a bad turnover as well. Now they're out on this wing. If Werner can pick it up cleanly, he couldn't do so because Frost closed him down. Forced the turnover. Burrow willing it forward. Mullen's got it at centre half forward. It's desperation stuff here for Eaglehawk. They're trying to get it towards the top of the square, and eventually it'll be worked out of there by Jacob Murphy, who hits a nice kick out of the fence, and now they can get and go through James Gray.
The kick to Zach Dennehy, slides in after the footy and then marked it at ground level. Now Dennehy turns and goes, shallow inside forward 50. Merritt got his hands on the footy. Oh, too high, Gisborne free kick it'll be. It was over the Alice Spray done it by Everborough, over the shoulder of James Gray, who's been very, very good this afternoon for the Dogs. He's the man on the mark, done it, is 15 metres in.
He might edge himself in front. I think he kicks this one, I reckon.
Let's see what Gray does with the footy. All he has to do is sit it up in the square because the wind will do the most. Right hand post will be the target, and it is, and it actually probably went the other way in the end. And that is a minor score. So it's now 59 playing 50. 21 minutes gone, final turn.
Eaglehawk got to be brave. Sam Thompson gets it and runs his 15 and goes straight down the middle. Hall couldn't quite take the mark, but he managed to at least paddle it forward in the right direction if you're Eaglehawk. Clough goes through for Gisborne. Might have dropped the footy. Umpire says play on. They all dive on top of this footy. Umpire circling, crosses his arms and says, I'll ball it up. So right in the middle, Frost down to Ben Thompson. Ben Thompson off. Now they can get and go. Eaglehawk through Budrick. Uses the space, sends it inside forward 50. And the intercept mark was good. And Lockie Evans has been quite impressive for me across half-back this afternoon. He's done a lot of nice things. Wheel backwards to Vescovi in the goal square. Vescovi plays on. Even shorter pass was good, and it finds its way into the hands of Campbell Johns, who's been very good in this back end of the game. Takes his time, which is what Gisborne won't mind at the moment. Eaglehawk up against it. Down the line he goes. No mark taken to O'Brien, but he knocks it to ground level, and we'll have a ball up. Gunner footy happening here. 59 to 50. 22 minutes gone in the final quarter. We'll have a tackle, and we'll have a ball up. They want it out, the crowd. Goes forward. Inside forward 50 they go. Eaglehawk might have a chance here. Shaughnessy has to make the tackle inside forward 50. Good tackle. That was a great tackle. So it'll be inside forward 50. Good defensive pressure. Needing to find a goal here at Eaglehawk. Mullins on top of the footy. Inside the final 5 minutes. They're trailing by 9 points. Top of the 50. Can they find a way through Eaglehawk? They do. It's Ben Thompson, and he hits the post. That would have been a big moment. Ben Thompson found the way through and slams it into the goal post. 8-point ball game. If he kicks that one, we would have been in for a ring-a-ding-ding. They're not done with yet though, Eaglehawk. It just felt like that had to go through. Gisborne will bring the ball in. Kick out to Dennehy, who's happy to get and go. Extravagantly has a bounce. Dennehy down the line to Gray. Gray couldn't quite take the mark. Eaglehawk should be able to force the turnover and set to reload. But strong tackling by Gray was magnificent. And Darcy Young came in to make sure that ball was not coming out. And with 23 minutes gone in the final quarter, Gisborne hanging on to an 8-point lead. Clough was there for the set play. Braden Blake sells some candy. Braden Blake goes goals! That would have been an absolute cracker of a goal. But he just misses. And it gives Eaglehawk a lifeline. 9 points. Less than 5 to go. Langford plays on. Long ball down the middle of Gardner Reserve. Didn't quite find its way into the hands of anybody inside their 50. Dennehy gave it off. Teammate tackling is strong by Eaglehawk. They're going to get a little bit of push and shove here.
Berks in amongst it.
Dying minutes of this game. 9-point lead to the Dogs. Knocked down. Handball into the middle of the ground from Gisborne was good. They'll go in the McKenna direction. Langford dropped the mark. Merritt's being held. And Merritt's going to get the free kick at the top of the goal square to go back and seal the deal for Gisborne.
I can't say him missing this. I'm going to back him in.
This would be for number 4.
He's had an exceptional game.
Made his late dash for a Bendigo City Framers Best on Ground Sponsors Award here.
You never know.
Matt Merritt.
He has to put it through first.
He has to kick it. Hasn't been easy in these conditions. 15 out directly in front. He taunts and celebrates. Gisborne might just have done enough. They are 14, 15 points in front now into the final few minutes of this game. Score sponsor Parsons Towings on Live 25 Local Fresh Meat.
One-on-one Merritt is very hard to play on. He often pulls off those free kicks just with his body work, so as we can see there.
Well, how the inside 50s look this quarter, because it feels like Eaglehawks had a lot more than what they would have had in previous quarters against this Breeze.
Well, so far Eaglehawk have had 9 and Gisborne have only had 10.
There you go, that'd be the most even. I reckon that counts being across all 3 quarters. Free kick out of the middle has gone to Braden Blake. He was blocked out of it by Frost. So Blake has it in the middle of the ground. Feel like Gisborne might just about have done enough, but they won't feel that just yet. Sends it in the direction of Gray. Bolger goes back, floats over his head. O'Brien tracks back after it. Luxmore gave off the handball. Taken in the tackler's donut. Had maybe a chance to get the handball. Umpire says no. James Gray's been magnificent down there. We'll have another ball up. Frost lost it. Dennehy took it out of the ruck. Couldn't quite find connection. Frost has passed out to O'Brien. Dropped the mark. It wouldn't have been 15 metres anyway. Hard ball to win. The wind is gushing. Conditions are starting to darken here. Gisborne by 15 points. 27 minutes played in the final term. It's been a cracking game here this afternoon.
Repeat ball.
Clough's also been good for Gisborne. He was tackled, ball up. Frost trying to work it forward. Gray tries to find a way through. Unfortunately, find a way through the eyelet on the little needle. Not easy to do. Wind picks up again. Frost down through the tackle. The precious seconds ticking away if you're a Gisborne supporter. Full-time score in the Loddon Valley. Bridgewater 99 have defeated Moorong 70. So a bit of an upset there in the Loddon Valley Footy League. The Mean Machine getting a big result. And that might be Moorong's first loss this year, I reckon.
You're right there, Cam.
And that shakes up the top 3 in Loddon Valley Footy for 2025. Back here,
Down the middle.
in the middle. Donut goes central. Mark got taken to Isley. And the ever-reliable man in the defence, Jack Reaper. Reaper goes backwards. They'll come wide, missed its target there, which was Evans, wearing the number 14, which used to be occupied by Quinton Young. They work it forward now, Eaglehawk, but they missed the handball to O'Shannessy, who hasn't had his best game this afternoon. In brought Bolger, handball to Mullen was under immediate pressure. And we'll have another baller on centre wing. 66 playing 51, 29 gone, final quarter. Gisborne Gisborne probably have just done enough as we're in the final minutes of this one.
The siren wouldn't be far by now.
You can imagine it would be very long to go. A late afternoon in Gisborne, we hit 5 o'clock. Eaglehawk not giving in just yet though. Blake through the middle, Blake spins his way out of trouble, got the handball off to Clough. Clough found a way through. High ball inside forward 50. Dennehy in a one-on-one with Hanley. Dennehy used his body exceptionally, but he went to ground, which invited O'Brien to come back. O'Brien handballed it straight to Burke, who was lurking. Burke's been holding onto his Eaglehawk opponent a little bit too long. Without the win, when the siren sounds, and that is full time. Gisborne 9-12-66. Have hung on in an entertaining game of footy. Eaglehawk 6-15-51 is the full-time score. Seb Bell Bartels, what do you make of that?
It was a nail-biter, I'll tell you that. I didn't really know what to expect going into the last quarter, but obviously the boys have held on and...
When it comes to reducing pain and rebuilding strength, Keyser leaves nothing to chance. Our university-qualified health professionals don't just treat problem areas, they design personalised training programs using Swiss-engineered machines unique to Keyser. These machines safely isolate the affected area, test your strength, and help rebuild your muscles for a stronger and healthier life. Keyser, physiotherapy, rehabilitation, and strength training. Building strength with precision.
For the Bendigo Football Netball League, top 5 for round 10. Number 1, Jack Thompson from Eaglehawk here. A great goal. The hair pass comes his way. Instead of taking it, he just kicks it mid-air. How good is that? Number 2, Caden Antonowitz from South Bendigo. Another off-the-ground effort. This one in a bit of chaos. Gets it over the line. Great goal. Number 3, we're looking for a mark here. Joel Buderick from Eaglehawk, out on the wing, takes one snatch at it, then dives and takes the mark. Have a look at that in replay. How good is that? Number 4, Kobe Maxted from Sandhurst here. Ball coming in over his head. It bounces kindly for him. Then he gets it and goes goal. A brilliant goal. Number 5, Stephen Strabantz from South Bendigo. Caught the ball on the edge of the pack, goes bang, and it goes careering to goal, bowling everybody and making its way over the line.